Hello and welcome everyone, it's your boy Logic and we're back with another King of the Hill. So we're back with more multiplayer content here in the Total War Warhammer 2 scene. Hope we're all doing well. You leave me alone, Ranald, you know my true loyalties. But how you doing, Muckluck, Cypher, CJ, and yourself, Ranald? Hope we're all doing well. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And let's crack on with this. So it's going to be a little bit of a different King of the Hill today. We're going to do a very legendary Lord-specific King of the Hill. So what I'll be using here is I'll be using Ranald's gift, which I'll show you very shortly. It will give these players here a random legendary lord that they have to use, which is also going to be quite fun. So it should be able to pull it away from some of the legendary lords that we see very, very commonly. So it should be some pretty fun games. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. So if we pop through here and we put on the display capture, there we go. So we should be able to see Ranald's gift, and we'll go here for Mr. Cowboy Bob, the first one. He will be the King of the Hill, as he's the first one in selection. Let's see what he gets.
Defender of Alt
So,
1.
Alifhanar, fantastic. I like it. So if we pop through onto here. Alifhanar for him. And let's see here what we get for Mr. Caradoc from VM. Hopefully something fun. So I think Alifhanar is pretty cool. He's a good artillery piece lord.
The true king.
Oh yes, Lokia Felheart. All right, let's go. I'm super stoked about that. I'm super stoked. Let's do this. Beep boop. What is your version of Quack? Well, that's a good question. Grumble. You can say grumble, grumble, grumble if when you come in, if you like. Caradoc will be. I think I spelled that incorrectly, but I think he'll know what I'm saying. I think I spelled that massively incorrectly, actually. Yeah. Ah, so badly. Listen, don't worry about it. We don't worry about it. All right, let's change the scoreboards here. So we will be having Cowboy Bob on the left slot. And let's get that there. So, Cowboy there. And Mr. Caradoc in there. Fantastic. Awesome stuff. So for those that have never watched my King of the Hills, what happens here is these two will now face up against each other with these armies. They can all build whatever they want, but they have to bring Lokia and they have to bring Alifhanar. And the winner will stay and the loser will unfortunately drop. But we'll have a new person in the list that will join and try and challenge the King of the Hill. So yes. The L is kidnapped. True Logic. Logic is still here, I promise. I promise. The Elky, they paid me off to put a picture up of them, I promise. By the way, Logic, how are the short beard leagues going? Games going? So yeah, for those that don't know what the short beard league is, and for any new players here in the community, I actually organise a brand new player league. So basically you can come in, you can play against other brand new players in the community and really try and get some good games in there. So it'll be good league games, so it's good practice for leagues, and it'll also be good tournament practice for the Nordgrimlings tournament. So if anybody that does want to play, the league actually finishes in 2 days. The leagues are generally between 2 to 3 weeks. And then at the end of each season, so we're in season 1 right now, we'll also do the Nordgrimlings tournament, which means everybody that is part of or part of the shortbeard realm will be, or the shortbeard tag will be able to play, which should be really fun. Yes, it's really, really funny, and this is something that me and Ducky laugh about quite a lot, and I'm sure Crumbiddle might find this funny as well. On Ducky's channel, his dwarfs do really well. Lots of people love his dwarf videos. They love them a lot. On my channel, it's quite different. Elves do, like, high elves especially, Dark Elves and Wood Elves do exceptionally well on my channel, and I have no idea why. As a Dwarf main, the Elves do really well, and for Ducky, who's a Lizardman main, his Dwarfs do extremely well on the channel, so I'm not too sure what's going on there, but you know what it is. True Logic was an Elf main all along. Campaign I certainly was, because they're so goddamn broken, but yes. What did Gromby say? 2 elven factions, a coincidence? I think not. Well, you know. I mean, in general, if we talk about this matchup in particular, I think it does favour the Dark Elves. Yeah, I think it favours the Dark Elves when you have full faction selection. So if you can pick the legendary lords you want, you can pick all the units you want, which in this particular stance you can pick all the units you want, but the lord choices are really heavy in selection for these matchups. So for example, the High Elves have every single Winds of Magic, apart from the obvious ones, you know, like vampiric stuff and Denizen of the Deep, you know, all the deep magic, etc. But they have all of the normal Winds of Magic that everybody has option to. So that's where their power goes. But unfortunately here, you're not going to have that full range as your Legendary Lord is selected for you. So it could make this a little bit different here. I'd say it's pretty even. 3 X-Elves, only one little Git faction. Is that what the Dowie are they, Davina? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, by the way. And Benzo, hope you're doing well. Aging really slowly, plus pointy ears for life. I mean, pointy ears, they are immortal, I believe, sadly. They are pretty broken. I mean, they're immortal, and they still lost in the war, in the War of Vengeance. So you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll probably get some stick for that, to be fair. Imagine how bad this game would be if there was more than one Dowie faction. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing Chaos Dwarfs very soon. So your prayers might be answered, Zypher. Your prayers might be answered. But I don't think any video will be able to be better than the Dreadosaurin video. Yeah, I love the Dreadosaurin video. That Dreadosaurin video is done really well. So my other top video was like 900 and something. It's already at 1.5k. You guys love that. So I mean, I loved making it, to be fair. So it was really good fun making that. And that was actually a video that happened on stream. So I believe it was Dilatron that did it on stream. I can't remember who he was playing against. Now, I can't remember off the back of my head, but it was Dilatron playing against somebody, and I was like, I have to cast this. This has to be cast. The community has to see it. So just like both already, we're going to play on the Outdoor for Outskirts. Let's hop into it. So guys, as we do go forward here, something that I don't like to say too often, but if you are enjoying all of the content you do see today here on the live stream, feel free to smash that like button. This would really help me here, and all those interactions do spread it out to the wider YouTube. And if you're liking all this YouTube-y stuff, please feel free to subscribe as well. It really does help. I've hit a massive target. I've hit over 500 subscribers, thanks to you very, very generous people. So thank you very much for all of that support that you've given. It really does mean a lot. So yeah, now that all those things are said and done, let's hop into the battle. So, I really do like Outdoor for Outskirts. It's one of my favourite competitive maps. We have all sorts of terrain changes here in height. Trees on one side, dotted trees around as well. Good vanguard deployment zones on either side, either flanks as well. And just in general, you've got hill advantages, and you've got the Scared Empire that are surprisingly have their doors open. I never really understand why the gate is always open, considering Warhammer in its current state where everything just wants to kill everything. But anyway, with the Dark Elves, looks like here we will be having some Cold One Knights, the anti-large armor-piercing variant here from the cavalry. Some Blackout Corsairs with the heavy armor and the anti-infantry. Some Bleak Swords, nice and cheap here in the front. More Black Arcs, Bleak Swords and Black Arcs with, ooh, the Witch Elves. So the Witch Elf players, so the nice Bikini Force with the Madness of Cain, negative melee defense, negative speed, and forcing that rampage. Always very good. So, Dark Shards with shields in the back, there's like 3 units of those. And in the front, the very fast Dark Rider shields, 92 speed, and of course there's bronze shields with that Vanguard deployment as well. So they are actually, they can rack up some nice value, just single alone because of their speed. And in the sky, Lokir Fellheart. Fantastic. He will have Dreaded Duelist, Noxious Breath, and the Helm of the Kraken. 520 armor-piercing weapon strength, all those breath attacks, and healing when in melee combat. Such a dangerous combination there. So in the trees, it looks like we'll have some Cold One Knights with some a Sorceress of Shadows. All right, let's pop over here then. So she's going to be supported by a few items in here. Cold One Knights looks like 2 of those. And looks like the Sorceress of Shadows here will be having the Pendulum, Enfeebling Foe, and the Mystifying Miasma for those slow and damage over time. So in the front here, the Shadow King himself, Alith Anar. So Alith Anar here will have the Moonbow, as well as Misled for that summon of himself. A nice good carbon copy there. And also Slippery. So if you're not actually paying too much attention, you can obviously send that out if your opponent is busy microing. And of course, they might be fighting up against that Misled unit. So Sylvan Guard in the front, mixing in with some more White Lions of Chase. Good armor piercing. Pretty good mid to elite tier infantry here in the front. But pretty much everything is here for the High Elves. Lothran Sea Guard as well with those shields. Very, very good. Overall in general. They got anti-large spears, so they're good up against cav, good range, silver shields, 40 armor, just generally good overall. Light armored archers, which are something I don't often see here. I normally see the ROR. Apart from that, you don't normally see just the light armored archers. Maybe just a bit of spare cash left over. But a noble here, naked on horseback with that 100 armor, and the major beasts on foot with the Curse of Anera and also the Wild Form. Interesting spells. Not what you commonly see here. So in the back, the Silver Helms. Looks like they're going to be using maybe the Curse of Venera here to support with the Silver Helms up against some other cavalry potentially. Not too sure, But elite guards here, so we are going to have the Silverins. So very nice work. Lots of range here though to deal with Lokia Felheart. Lokia Felheart coming over here is really dangerous considering we also have Alith Anar who has 300 range, good armor piercing as well, 356 missile strength. And he's a very good artillery piece. He fires pretty flat, but pretty true, but also very fast. So you do have to be careful. That Moonbow can also destroy legendary lords. So finding this guy, so it looks like here we are going to be trying to maneuver at the edge of the range here, the range from the High Elves. So if he's on the edge and he is moving, we do have those archers. They can generally miss pretty commonly. You can do some good juking with Loki. He does have 90 speed, so no joke. Shots here from the armor-piercing Dark Shards with shields. They're going to do some good work here up against the elite White Lions. Oh, breath attack there with a nice bit of movement as they're moving away from the shots of the arrows. And they actually do accidentally juke the breath attack here from Lokia Felheart. So that's, 2 for 1 there. Now, we do have this big pillar in the way. Now, this thing has obviously been used quite a few times. So you can also actually get your caster in behind. Get some spells over the top and, protect it from range and all sorts of other big things as well. Now, this is really dangerous. The mage here is going to be really on her own. She could get sniped instantly. Ooh, a fantastic pendulum here up against the Lothran Sea Guard. That destroyed quite a few models. That wasn't even overcasted, I don't believe. So that's some pretty good target damage in the middle. So here we have some Bleak Swans fighting in the front up against the White Lions. White Lions will pretty much chomp these down to size, but with the assistance of the anti-infantry Blackheart Corsairs, we should be able to punch through really quickly. And you can see how damaged they are. Actually putting them in here is not going to be worth it. You really need to get through this pocket and get into the back on with the range. Fighting here just up against the infantry in the front, it's not really that beneficial to you because it's more important that you shut down this backline range. Here we can see the sisters are in. The Bikini crew are going to be fighting up against the Lothran Sea Guard. They have rampaged them, and they're going to do very well in combat. 46 melee attack, and they're reducing that melee defense with that rampage and speed as well. Looks like Alith Anar is going to drop. Has he used Misled yet? Doesn't look like it. It looks like the High Elf force here, the Elgi, going to be struggling up against these Dark Elves. Looks like we have the Colbur Knights fighting up against the Lothran Sea Guard. They have 90 armor, so the Lothran Sea Guard really going to struggle with that armor piercing on range and also from those spears. Logia here is going to be cleaning up the crew, fighting up against the Noble. Noble is anti-large armor piercing, so he can certainly do some work here. Big hit in the rear up against Logia. Not enough to keep him on the floor, but certainly enough to push him off. No healing apart from that Kraken Helm. He does get that 9 melee defense and healing, but he has to be in melee combat, so he has to pick his fights pretty carefully, for sure. Now, a little bit of a mistake there from Caradog. We did see that the mage on foot was isolated quite strongly. Not sure what happened there. Did Cowboy pulled out? Okay, that's very interesting. Don't know how I feel about that. Cowboy pulled out. I don't think it was over. Not just yet. I thought it looked tough, but it wasn't over. Interesting. Okay. I mean, fair enough. So this will come through with a win here for Caradoc. Looks like Cowboy Bob 180 for Alith Anar. I think pushing forward too fast with Alith Anar as your lord. I don't think you got enough value there with that specific legendary lord, I think you needed to have a bit more of a stand back and used him as an artillery piece to attack. But of course, you do have to fulfill the attacking rules as well. So you do have to have some level of engagement. So maybe just moving up, getting some range involved. Maybe even kiting with some Shadow Warriors here might have been a little bit better in my personal opinion. Yeah, I think I would have preferred to see that. I would prefer to see these 3 dropped. And maybe picking up at least 3 Shadow Warriors to support Elifanar. They also have pretty good melee combat stats. And I think there wasn't enough here to deal with wide chaff. I think Rangers might have been a better option rather than the armor-piercing White Lions. But then you do need something with armor-piercing. So the Silvering Guard, heavily armored cav is something they do struggle to deal with. Phoenix Guard, very expensive option to do so. Maybe Silvering Guard would be enough. Curse of an Era was used, but we only saw the second one there. So yeah, difficult matchup there, difficult matchup. But it's like here, 950 for Loki, 460 for the Sorceress of Shadows, 270, 380, and 200 with a 390 for the Bleak Swords, 270 for the Blackout Corsairs, 480 for the second unit, with 626 for the Witch Elves. Now, we certainly need to shoot the Witch Elves. They pop through the pocket pretty quickly, so it's nice that you got the cheap front line forward, and then we sent in the Witch Elves. But 172, 268, and 300 for the Dark Shards. They really didn't do much, with 430, 324 for the Dark Shard Shields. And it looks like Cold War Knights here with 40 kills, 630, and 25 for 370. Light Armored Archers got 300, but of course they'll cost that extra 50 with the armor. And also there's truckloads of armor piercing here, so just going with Armored Archers probably isn't worth it in my personal opinion. But 288, 605, 200 here for the Lothran Sea Guard. 430, yeah, 380, 320. Unfortunately, yeah, you can see the White Lions. I think the White Lions have very specific matchups they're good in. I don't think this is one of them. But that is also my personal opinion. But looks like 180, 220, and here the normal Lothran with no shields, 260. 475 though for the Silver Helms, quite expensive. I think I prefer Leon Reavers, a little bit faster. Can certainly work around the flanks, and they can deal with Dark Rider shields pretty effectively. So 510 for the Noble, yeah, pretty good overall. Hello, Grombrindle. So, GG's indeed though. GG's indeed. Was Loki's dragon always smoking? I feel like there is some sort of smoking animation about the dragon. I'm not too sure why. It's a black dragon. I'm sure there's something in lore about it. I know black dragons are very different to any other dragon, and I can't particularly remember why. But I'm sure somebody here can answer. I don't like when people give up this early. Yeah, I know, man. I know. But, like, for example, if you thought it was over, you didn't want to play it, that's fine. No, that's fine, Cowboy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a particularly massive high-off player either, but they were just some of my suggestions, I think. You know, if I don't know a faction, what I try and do is when I'm building my faction or I'm building my army to play against a faction, I always build my army looking at what my opponents have got. So, for example, Rangers would have been very good to deal with their infantry, you know, the cheap bleak swords, etc. They would have carved through there pretty nicely. And then you would have needed some level... I don't know how Rangers do up against Blackout Corsairs. I imagine not great because they've got armor and their anti-infantry. So then you would have needed something to deal with those. I think some armor pierce. I mean, they don't have that much armor. 80 armor is still a good amount, but it's not loads. So, you know, just some considerations there. You go to Krakadrin to regain your honor logic. It looks like here I've let down my dwarf comrades. All right. So for the man here that we'll be having one, we will have Mr. Caradoc taking the lead here today. And he'll be going up against Grombrindle. So we have King Leon Kerr from the Bretonians for Mr. Caradoc. Grombrindle. Alright, so what's Snorri Whitebeard going to get today? Not too sure. Let's put that into position. Right, roger that. So, King Leon Kerr. Let's get this set then. All right, and then we go for. So, what is Chad Thoric gonna get? Let's have a look. What's the odds he gets the goddamn Dowie? Oh, he's not gonna get Dowie. He's not gonna get Dowie. Let's have a look.
Attack the mortals!
Yes! Helm Ghost! Let's go. Oh my god. Chad, you have been blessed today. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to go. I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, the map. The map's a little bit. Is kind of important actually. We will go for Battle of Foritza. Is he? I bought light armored archers because I had like 50 gold left over. Yeah, that's fair enough, dude. That's what I said actually. Yeah, I said it. I said it in the beginning. I was like, yeah, you might have had like 50 over, which makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Really, Ghost is meta here? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that at all. Actually, surprisingly, so for some of these legendary lords we're going to get, for some sub-factions, it's actually going to be like good to take them in the sub-faction, but that all comes down to the player. The player might take them for the main faction, but it might actually be better to take them in the sub-faction. So, for example, you might get, so with Valifanar, taking his sub-faction for you, Cowboy, actually might have been better because you have more range options. You actually gain from taking it. Like, taking the sub-faction means you can actually, he actually has a couple of range units you can take that you can't take with the normal faction. So that's some things, you know, if that's extra knowledge, gain knowledge, right? So if you guys know that, you know that you can do that. I thought Vlad was meta in this. So that's what I thought. I thought, like, well, I generally think the, Ranklin Far, how you doing, buddy? Big ups to Liquid Logic. Why am I Liquid Logic? Have I done something? Is there something I've done? Why am I liquid? How you doing, Ranklin Far? How you doing, well, buddy? And Logic, give me a... Logic, give me moderator. I'll get rid of this elven propaganda in a moment. Amazing. Yeah, I think this is like, I'm pretty sure this is slightly Bretonnian flavoured, if you can pick. But I think King Leon Kerr is not the normal selection. You normally go Fae, but I think you go Fae in like 90% of matchups anyway. But like Fae double power is pretty strong, I think. Dragon too risky here, in my opinion. Against the Bretonnians, yeah, I could see that if you went Pegasus Knights, for sure. It's a bold move, I guess. But like if you go like hard air core here for the vampire counts, I don't really know what you can do as the, like you'd have to truck loads into Pegasus Knights, I think. But also because we've got Leon Kerr, I think now going a dragon is not good. But the one advantage of this tournament is going to be no double Fae. Sorry, it's going to be no Fae double paladin. So, you know, we're going to add in an extra dimension there. This usually ends in Ghost and Fae and their elite cav. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think you're going to be seeing 2 Vargeist, 3 Blood Knights, maybe some Black Knights with Lancers and Barding. I think it's going to be something around that. And you also look prettier. I mean, that is important. That is important. No Fae, how about the other OP lords? Well, he has to go Leon Kerr here, so he has to. But if you didn't bring Fae, who would you bring? Rapans wouldn't be a bad idea, especially against Vargeist and all regenerating units. She has a fire damage. She has a anti-infantry sword as well, I believe. And also she gives that air of effect plus 10 melee attack, 10 melee defense, which is quite nice. Yeah, so... Oh, I don't know if you were here, Cyrus. So the way this is working is... Ranald's gift has given them the lords. So Faye is in. She's in for a selection. But he got Leon Kerr, so he has to be. So this is just a legendary lord selection. So Ranald's is just selecting the lord for them. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you might have just missed that, to be fair. So Chad has to use Helm and Gorst, and Keldok has to use Leon Kerr. Yeah. Which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It means they can't, just go uber meta. It just stops people. I mean, people can go meta if that's what they're given. But yeah, so Battle for Itza is another map here that I kind of want to bring back to the multiplayer scene. I do like it. I don't see it very often. I think it's generally quite a nice map. It's a Lizardman map as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it's a nice map. It's pretty. It's pretty well balanced in my opinion. Yeah, it is a very nice map, I must admit. But most of the Lizardman maps are very nice, I think. Yeah, I could agree with that, Cypher. I could agree with that. Whoever wins the CAD fight generally wins, yeah. It's like Rapans with her banner, with the Cav, generally wins. Generally. Oh, no, everybody's in. But for example, like, for the way I'm going to do it, so let's say Caradoc is now, in the last one, Caradoc was Dark Elves, and in this one he was Bretonia. If we get those two again for him, let's say he wins here. If he gets any of those two in the next one, I just won't let him be that. So this is a very interesting conversation, Davina, and the thing that's kind of annoying me about people saying that Cav is not good in this patch, Cav actually got buffed in this patch. See, the problem that people are having at the moment is people are reading that there were adjustments to Cav, and Cav was actually improved from the last patch with the greenskin OP meta into this patch. So Cav are actually better than they've ever been. They're still not great. Like, they're still excellent if you use them correctly. But, like, for example, in real life, if you run headlong into a great weapon or a halberd, you're screwed on a horse anyway if you run headlong and they're braced. Like, it's not going to end well. And you're going to take loads of damage on the charge, which is in reality what should happen. But at the same time, Cav have actually got better rather than worse. So, yeah, I don't know. And most factions that have loads of halberds, you probably just shouldn't be bringing Cav against anyway, really, I don't think. But I think, yeah, it's an interesting conversation. Like, the Cav is a difficult one at the moment. You make Cav too overpowered, you'll only ever see Cav and you never see infantry. But at the moment, infantry is slightly taking the pick, but not too much. But we'll talk about this later. So, Ground Knights here for those very nice magical lances. Sorry, I had to swallow there. And we got some Knights of the Lion-Hearted, so the ROR Knights of the Realm with their lances as well. Magic, anti-large, etc. The Battle Pilgrims, Peasant Mobs in the front. And that's why we've got 4 units here of the Peasant Bowmen, Fire Arrows, Pox Arrows, and some normal Peasants. Some more Battle Pilgrims in the back. Good leadership from them, actually. They generally around 81. I think the ROR is somewhere in the region of about 89 to 92. Grey Knights, are these just normal Grey Knights? These, yes. So Grey Knights, the anti-large and the Lancers. So Battle Pilgrims, you're not going to have a Damsel of Life, and I think that's kind of necessary. It is and isn't necessary for King Leonka, generally. But Leonka, he will be on Bequeath with the Sword of Corone, probably one of the strongest items in the game. Stand the Ground, the Ladies Champion, and Blessing of the Lady. Having that physical resistance, terror, all the good things is just very handy for him. Lots of arrows wide with peasant mobs, so they're going to be good at dealing with zombies, etc. But we do have that regeneration from the other side. So let's go through here. So this is exactly what I was expected to see. Oh, the Devils of Schwarsterhafen, the ROR Vargeist in the sky with that frenzy and terror. But at the same time, I expected lots of Vargeists in the sky to deal with a flying force. But that would be if you went with a dragon, I was thinking, actually. So because we have Helm and Gorse, we weren't going to go with an air force. But we have the Tithe. We also have some more zombies. 5 units of zombies in the front. Ooh, double White Kings. Interesting. So White Kings here with the Scab Scraith and Heroic Killing Blow, Heroic Killing Kill and Scab Scraith. And for Chad Thorok, we are going to have Helm and Gorst. The Liber Noctis, as well as the Magical Animus. Gaze of Nagash. Invocation of Nehek. Awakening from the Grave, which will be those Graveguard summons. Curse of the Undeath, as well as the Master of the Death, the nice Corruption. I forgot he has all of these items as well. The Unholy Lordstone and the Vigorous Mortis. In the back though, Skeleton Spearmen, as well as a unit of Blood Knights, the Kongenstein Stalkers, the Poison Skeletons, the Graveguard Great Weapons, Anti-Infantry Armor Piercing, Skeleton Spears, the Graveguard, the Sternsman, which is the regenerating ROR normal variant with some more Skeleton Spearmen. So it looks like there's some damage here. It looks like we had a Gaze and Nagash up against King Leon Kurd, taking a fair amount of damage, but he's going to regen most of that back. But it will bring him closer to that regeneration pole, or the cap, as it were. But here we go. So they're going to be both slowly moving forward together. Looks like they don't want to run at each other. They just want to hold on to that vigor as much as possible. The bats are going to fly forward here. Now we don't have any support in the sky. We do have 2 fell bats, and we also have the Devils of Schwarsterhafen. 58 melee attack. They are going to be anti-infantry, I believe, and they're also damage dealers, as far as I'm aware. Obviously they cause terror and armor piercing, but I believe they're meant to be like elite anti-infantry. I think it's the way they generally work. The charges here in the front with Fellbat's going to be going straight onto the Grower Knights, trying to get what sort of damage they can. They don't have much armor piercing, so 90 armor should hold pretty well. And here we go. Looks like the Devils are Schwarsterhafen popping onto the Grower Knights. Lots of damage there. Charges in from the Grower Knights to support as well. But we are going to have healing for the Devils of Schwarsterhafen. They're going to get a nice invocation of Nehek. So we need an Earthblood coming through as well here. Looks like an Earthblood is going to go down. A Gaze and Nagash hitting into the backside of King Leon Kurd. Overcasted there while that healing as well on top of the Grail Knights. Very interesting. We lose models. We won't be getting those models back. Looks like we lost 5 models already, so healing count going to start to come in. Fire arrows will be firing into the front here. They're going to be coming after that flying force here with the Fellbats. And it looks like the White King is in as well. So the White Kings need to be careful. They do need to support Helm and Gorse. He's very slow here, 23 speed, getting pulled on that corpse cart. So you do have to be careful. VC is certainly going to want to push forward, but they are going to want Helm and Gorse at that center. He's going to have that draining effect. Also healing as well with the Vigorous Mortar, so those increased stats. Obviously zombies are getting +5 melee attack, +5 melee defense. Doubles their stats, so it actually makes them... yeah, okay up against peasant mobs. Peasant mobs for 100 cost actually have 18 melee attack, which is actually not bad at all. It's actually pretty decent for their cost. You know, if you think about miners at 325 cost, yeah, they have loads of armor, but they've only got 22 melee attack. So, you know, the things you have to take into consideration. So it looks like here we are going to pop in using King Leon Kurd. Looks like this sort of crow. Negative melee defense, negative armor as well. He can certainly snipe against this hero. Sniping at that hero will be very good. He does have his Scab Scrapes, very good at removing infantry. That'll also here include the Battle Pilgrims. Only 30 armor, pretty expensive infantry as well, but hold a lot of balance of power. Over here, Peasant Mobs up against Skeleton Spears. Looks like the Peasant Mobs here, -8 leadership due to fear, so they are going to struggle. They're only going to be wavering here as they're also losing in combat. We're also going to have a shock charge here from the Knights. Oh, Blood Knights in, and they should be able to break pretty quickly here. But it looks like there's going to be some damage. Is that a damage spell? Oh, an Awakening of the Woods. Interesting. No, that's an Awakening of the Woods, right? Surely. So in the front, we actually have some zombies and some Skeleton Spears. They were fighting and have broken the Peasant Mobs, but in move the Battle Pilgrims. Battle Pilgrims, as far as I'm aware, still have Frenzy. Yes, they do. Immune to Psychology as well, so that fear is not going to affect them. Although we do now start having Skeleton Warriors in the back up against the nice Peasant Bowmen. The Fire Arrows have been compromised here in the backside, and that's where it starts to get dangerous. The Bretonnians very good with that poison, firing into the front. And as we can see here, Felbat's now going to be fighting up against Peasant Bowman with the fire arrows as well. What's up, Big Catan? How you doing, buddy? And looks like we are getting some charges here from the Grail Guardians into the Blood Knights. It's going to be anti-large and anti-large magic damage here for the Grail Guardians. And but they are going to be fighting against the fear of the Blood Knights. So it looks like we have the Devils of Schwarzhafen fighting here as well. Where are the Devils? I can't see their cards. So their card is there. So they're going to be pretty low on health. They could certainly do with some healing. They're going to need some help here in the middle. They're getting shot by quite a lot of arrows. The damage has taken quite a lot. 6 models down to 550 HP. Negative on that leadership as well. So they will be crumbling slowly over time. Over here on the right hand side, we do actually have some Knights of the Lion-Hearted with that fear. Fighting here in the pocket up against the Graveguard Great Weapons. And the double zombies, including the Tithe. We do have the anti-large skeleton spears on the left hand side. Balance of power here will be shifting into the Bretonnian favour here with Caradoc. But we are going to get some healing here in the pocket. We're going to heal the Grail Guardians, 336 HP, as well as Bequeath and the King Leoncoeur. Blood Knights, which are very key in this matchup, are going to slowly start withering away. Negative 13 leadership. They're going to be dropping on health pretty quickly. And, oh, nice scab scrape in the back up against the Peasant Pox arrows. And now it looks like we have Helmut Gorst. Helmut Gorst got a big charge down there. He took lots of damage. Fire arrows are going to get shot up against Helmut Gorst. He does actually have regeneration, so that extra fire damage will be nice up against him. He is going to cause an invocation of the Hex, the magical animus as well, given that leadership there, trying to prevent all that crumbling. Negative 49 leadership there for the Skeleton Warrior, so they'll go down pretty quickly. Sword of Corone as he tries to snipe out Helmut Gorst. Negative armor and negative melee defense. And it looks like here, Sword of Corone is actually going to be affecting units even outside as well. That's an area of effect. I believe it's 40 meters, so you're going to get some big value from that. Any AoE spells or debuffs or buffs are very, very strong in the current meta. Very good indeed. So it looks like, oh, big hits going there. So big hits up against Helmut Gorst. He's certainly going to be withering on that leadership. Since he's at about 45, looks like that came back very quickly when Leoncoeur did go away. He's going to be damaging entities over time as he does stay in this pocket. Oh, big hit there from Leoncoeur though. Leoncoeur needs some support here from the White Kings for sure. 4,300 HP for him. He's going to be at max pretty much. And looks like the Peasant Fire Arrows. Oh, another Scab Scrape there. Not the best one I've seen, but not bad otherwise. There was some damage on the Peasant Bowman. Really isolated though is Helmut Gorst. He's going to be at pretty much 3,000, about 3,200 HP at full cap. But we still have some fire arrows shooting into this slow pocket. And now we've lost the Blood Knights. We've lost all of that mobility. It's starting to look a little bit painful. Looks like we have some Peasant Bowmen and some Peasant Mobs coming back into the fixture. But we have started getting compromised here in the back. Skeleton Spears and Peasant Mobs are going to be fighting. And it looks like we've broken both with the fire arrows as well. Balance of power relatively even. Neither side has won here completely. But it is looking like it should be a win here for the Bretonnians, just considering how healthy King Leoncoeur is, and they still have lots of elite knights. Some healing there, just keep those knights nice and high would be advantageous. But here, oh, interesting. It's like one of the White Kings is going to be fighting up against the Damsel. She can run away though. She should have about 90 speed. Oh, only 78. Interesting. Another Scab Scrape here in the pocket. I think they was trying to get some damage here on the knights. But we do have the Graveguard anti-infantry up against the Peasant Fires. We do actually have some Peasant Mobs trying to come back into aid. But it looks like the majority of the forces here are going to be fighting up against the Knights. It just depends, can King Leoncoeur stand your ground, 16 leadership and that 24 melee defense. Can it hold here in the pocket is the question. Have they removed Helmut Gorst? I think they have. I didn't see. Yeah, Helmut Gorst has died. Okay, I missed that Helmut Gorst went down. But we still have the double White Kings. They will have that in courage, I believe. Yes, they do. So that's that added leadership. So we'll give a little bit there. Not too sure where Caradoc is going here. Oh, they're shooting here in the trees. Looks like they're shooting up against the Sternsman Graveguard. Okay. So they're shooting there on the left-hand side. In the back, we actually have some Skeleton Spears chasing off some Peasant Bowmen. And a few units coming back in from the Knights of the Lion-Hearted, Peasant Mobs, and Battle Pilgrims. Now, I really like Battle Pilgrims in this matchup. Obviously, immune to psychology, very high leadership as well, so they can fight for long durations of time. You know, things like being exhausted, and that negative fear, terror as well, is not going to affect them too much. So they can just fight for a very, very long duration of time, which is very handy when you have a very cheap, wide back line of just peasant bowmen. It could be very nice there to have that nice leadership. It looks like King Leon Kerr is just going to be waiting. There are a couple of units here that are looking a little bit on their own. He's going to go in here and see if he can snipe out. Oh, nice big hit on the White Kings. It looks like we have Heroic Killing Blow. That's going to go after the added base weapon damage and armor piercing on both once they try and fight here up against the Whites. But Bekois is going to be doing some good damage. And here we go. Sword of Crone going down. Negative armor, negative melee defense. That should aid. But as you see, I think this is a bit of a mistake from Caradoc. Caradoc's going to be getting punched here in the middle, unfortunately. Charges are eventually coming in from the Grail Knights as they are going to aid in some of the removal. But that was lots of unnecessary damage here on King Leon Kerr. I think that was a guaranteed win, but now that's kind of put it into question. He will heal the remainder of that back. Stand your ground going down. But we need to get those White Kings on. We need to do the damage up against Leon Kerr. If we remove Leon Kerr, this force will break pretty easily. These Knights are not healthy. And the problem here with not enough cavalry means that unfortunately you can keep moving with the Damsel of Life and you can just keep healing, which is, it's kind of hard. It is hard. But we have shattered the peasant mobs. It looks like here we're just going to be bullying the heroes. I think if we keep bullying the heroes using Leon Kerr, we could do pretty well here. So, just like the Sternsman Graveguard, they still have that regeneration, so they're still going to be healing here. So it should hold balance of power, because they are quite an expensive unit of infantry. White King, still 1.1k health. Leon Kerr is getting slapped here just a little bit, so we do have to be careful. Yeah, Leon Kerr is getting hit pretty hard here. I don't know. Ah, there we go. Big hit on the White King, 800 for him. Leon Kerr is now going to leave. Okay, interesting stuff. But obviously, Leon Kerr fighting there is going to allow the fire arrows and the pox arrows to get in and do some damage. Continuous cycle charging here from the Grail Knights on that downhill as well. So again, that additional speed charging into the face here of the nice elite infantry. Some more cycle charging here on the right hand side as they do move in. And nice charges here as well. What's up, the Emperor? Hope you're doing well, buddy. With some nice charges. Leon Kerr coming in for another charge for himself as well. Removing the Sternsman Graveguard is going to be very important. Fire arrows still shooting. Damsel of Life still going as well. Damsel's in a nice healing over here. Would be a nice Earth Blood. Would be good up against the Knights. We're now in sort of that negative territory where we should be losing to army losses, I think, more than likely. We still have a very healthy unit of skeletons over there. But as we can see, yep, Sternsman Graveguard are going to be holding this game together with a White King. They are actually fighting against the Damsel. They've done lots of damage on the Damsel, which was good. Looks like a charge there. Looks like it's just going to be cycle charging up against the White King. Negative 83 leadership. That is going to be army losses. And a fantastic game here between both players. Awesome stuff. That was a very interesting tactical battle, actually. Quite interesting indeed. Dwellers Below. Didn't think it was Awakening in the Woods. I couldn't remember what it was called. So, Leon Kerr, 3,250 damage value. Very nice, with 650 for the Damsel of Life. And it's like 92 and 73 for the Peasant Mobs. 130 and 216. 370. And 360 here for the Battle Pilgrims. 600, 900... 950 and 577 for the Peasant Bowmen. So you can see what sort of damage we're talking about here from these ranges. They're pretty cheap as well. So all of them gaining at least their value, if not doubling it. 1,150, 207, 124 for 2,027 for the Grail Knights, and 884 here for the Grail Guardians, with 152 kills, 800 damage value for the Knight of the Lion-Hearted. So yeah, very good stuff here from Caradoc. Helm and Gauze, 2,430. Very good work, more than I thought. 1,100 here from the White King. 1,500 from the second. So good combination there. Looks like 99 and 144 here from the Felbats. With only 1,000 for the Devils of Schwarzhafen. So, okay. I think I would have liked to see some more Knights, I think. But that's my personal preference. 1,000 here for the Blood Knights. Pretty much nothing for the front line. 100 there. 57 and 130. We've got 80. 522 for the Skeleton Spears. 226 for the Skeleton Warriors. For the Spears, 360, and 325 here from the Stalkers. We got 808 from the Graveguard Great Weapons, 620 from the Sternsman, and 688 here from the Graveguard Great Weapons. And that is the problem there at the end, unfortunately, because Graveguard are so slow, there's no guarantee they'll get their value. If you are having to go into the Bretonnians with all their knights, etc., and you are having to push forward with your infantry for whatever reason, then that's where Graveguard could do well. You know, they can get into that pocket, do that damage, but unfortunately here they just ended up chasing around cavalry that was just continuously cycle charging them. So that's where it just become difficult. GG's, well played. Quack quack, Mr. Blackthorn. How are we, my friend? Hope we're doing well. Aldrich, your thumbnail seems to be bugged. It's showing... Listen, you don't say anything there. You don't say anything, Mr. Rubber Duck of War. Right, so let's have a look. So we should have somebody next. Let's have a look. Ah, Lindsay. Miss Davina, you're up. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next one. Let's go with Bloodpine Woods. I like Bloodpine Woods. Nice map. Okay, so welcome everybody. Hope you're all having a great day, morning, evening, wherever you are. If you guys are enjoying all the content, please feel free to smash that and smash that like button and feel free to subscribe. That would really help. We're going to go into game 3 here, so it's going to be 2-0 for Caradoc. So he's going to be our current leader, and now he'll be going up against Lindsay. Lindsay K. Alright, so let's get these nice and ready. So, what are we going to get here for the current king and Caradoc? Are we going to get something decent, is the question. I like something different for him, something different. Ooh, Codex Sunnington. Okay, okay, I'm down. Afterwards. Cool. Caradoc, you are. Golek. Sun. Eater. I wonder if he's actually ever eaten a sun. I do wonder. Probably, hence the name, but still, always curious. Always curious. And for Miss Davina, now I know she's a Wood Elf player, she likes her elves, so can we get her some elves? I know she likes the Tomb Kings as well, so we've got a couple of selections there. Okay, we just had Leon Kerr, so we won't do that one. Yes! Yes, Davina. Let's go. Your favourite. Your oh, that makes me happy. Thorgrim Grudge Bearer. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That has made my day. Let's go. Let's go. Let's bring in the big boy. Bring him in. Bring in the grudger. Yeah, that actually happened in lore, Hank. I believe what it was is Codex Sunnington went to a city, an empire city, I believe, and... or was it Kivslev City? I mean, all the same thing, right? And this city had a wall that was impenetrable. They've been going at it for like years, maybe even hundreds of years. And Kolek rocks up with his big hammer and then just slams straight through the wall and like just starts slaughtering everybody. And then goes, this is boring, and then just left. That was it. He just got bored and left and went away, and then I think he slept or went to fight somewhere else or just did classic lore stuff. Too powerful, so they had to send him away. Kind of got killed in lore by Cetra. Really? I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I always think about Cetra in game, then I always think about Kolek and think about how Kolek would just slam him. But actually, in reality, in lore, it would make complete sense that Cetra would kill him, yeah. Neckbit, how are we? When you know no Fae is coming, you can tech blob or mass infantry way harder. Yeah, this is true, this is true. So the cowboy was saying to himself, well, whatever night's out, dwellers below 18 wins of magic or something, yeah. 18, I believe it's 18, something like that. What's the format for this normal King of the Hill? No, so, Neckbit, this King of the Hill is working in a way where I use Ranald's gift to give you your legendary lord, then you have to be that legendary lord. So, once you have the legendary lord, you have to build your army around it, so. God, I believe that's what you guys voted for. It may have changed in that time, but I highly doubt it. It was pretty close for a long time, but then it seems like it just smashed ahead. Yeah, it got 10 votes. The closest one was just normal King in the Hill otherwise. So after this, we have Hayden from SBQR, awesome faction. Then we have Void Lulz, again another player from VM. And then we have Zypher. So that's some pretty nice stuff. And from Grombrindle from some of the mountains as well. So if you guys are looking for some clans that you want to join VM, pretty Russian based, but really, really awesome, cool guys, you can always join those up. But maybe hit them up as well. They're a very competitive clan. Same as some of the mountains. They're predominantly Polish dominated, but they're awesome guys. Love their dwarfs, love Warhammer, really good memers, and really awesome guys in general. And same with SBQR. SBQR are guys all about having fun. They play a lot of Mordhau and they play a lot of Warhammer as well. So they're just a bit more of a relaxed clan. So you guys can also think about those as well. Wasn't Cetra killing Kolek reconed? I'm not sure what you mean by that last word, Neckbit. That gives Kolek at least one target he is good against. Yeah, that's true, that's true. I mean, Kolek's not bad against the dwarves. I just worry about Thunderers. Thunderers will rip him a new one. Well, absolutely tear him a new one. Because he's pretty heavily armoured, but... Alright, let's go! Let's head into it. Oh, really? Oh, they changed it afterwards, okay. Or join PE, yeah, PE also some awesome guys, like Neckbit, so they're definitely memers. But they're really fun. They're really fun. PE are a cool clan. If you guys want to find, actually Nickbit, if you want, anybody who wants to find any of these clans I'm talking about, head onto the Discord. You'll see it there in the description, and you'll go down to community resources where you can find all of the clans that have been shared. Nickbit, feel free for yourself, bunnies, whoever it might be, to smash somewhere for them to join as well. Nah, don't go to PE, awful people. Oh no, they're dreadful. Dreadful. Absolute memers and dreamers. Alright. So, I'll tell you what, we'll start with the Chaos. So, Chaos Marauders with great weapons. Great weapons. Just like Chaos Marauders with great weapons. So, Chaos Warriors and Chaos Marauders with great weapons, I'm sure, along the front line. Normal Chaos Marauders, great weapon Chaos Warriors. In the trees, we'll be having Brawler throwing axes. Throwing axes, and throwing axes is just truckloads of AP, which makes complete sense. So we'll have the Gore-Beast Chariots. I think they're 130 armor. They're just tremendously armored. In the sky, we are going to have a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire with the Piercing Bolts of Burning, the Fireball and Kindle Flame. In the back, some more Chaos Warriors. Oh, a Soul of Damnation. So this here is a cannon that has a demon inside it. For 420 range, 541 missile strength, boom, as well as blood here as its ability. Is going to be hiding behind this. That's very nice because the cannons, if they do bring cannons, can only shoot straight. This can shoot well and above over. So it's going to be hard to target it. It's just a nice awareness there. Kurlik Suneater, the man, the Electric Lord legend himself, here today. So Kurlik Suneater with Lord of the Storm, and that's it. No Starcrusher. Very disappointed, Mr. Kararok. Very disappointed. Everybody needs Starcrusher. It's totally worth it. But yeah, he should be very nice here to have today. So Gore-Beast Chariots, 130 armor, anti-infantry, armor piercing. Those things are just shred. Absolutely. Look at these absolute monsters. Don't see them often, but I love them. They cause fear. 80 charge. They're just disgusting. They are just disgustingly strong against the dwarves. So, for the Dowie, this is a build. We have Buckingham Rangers. Dwarves, I generally think they want to be like over here. They want to be like over here, not in the tree line. That's probably not going to favour them too much. But so we have Buckingham Rangers here. Buckingham Rangers on the front. Buckingham Rangers are not commonly seen, but they could be good here depending. Longbeards with the great weapons. Dwarf Warriors in the front for the added melee defense. The Urkran Miners, blasting charges, miners and blasting charges, and a Runesmith. Longbeard great weapons, Iron Breakers. Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. The Dragonback Slayers here in the back. And let's see here what we've got on the Runesmith. So the Runesmith will have the Rune of Slowness and the Rune of Negation. I would have way preferred to see the Rune of Speed, I think. Rune of Negation it has nowhere near the same power ability. But Thorgun Grudgebearer, who will have Stand Your Ground, the Oath of Vengeance, Foe Seeker, the Great Book of Grudges, and the High King. So very interesting. No Thunderers. It's an interesting one. Kurlik is, of course, you know the one that's coming. Kurlik, I believe, has 95 armor. Yeah, so punching through that could be difficult. And any sort of chariots, I think their lowest level chariots have 100 armor, 110 armor, I think. So you always need Thunderers in this matchup. So it should be interesting. We only have one unit of Slayers. We do have some great weapon Longbeards, so they could do some work. But it all depends. In the trees, though, we are going to be shooting up against the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. Also, Thunderers are very good at just shooting down Chaos Warriors with great weapons as well. AP is just going to come for the infantry, and infantry here for Dwarves are very known for... Oh, that's a fireball there. Looks like they missed the Runesmith. But Dwarves are known for having pretty low melee attack stats. Very good high melee defense stats, but low melee attack stats. So Dragonman Slayers, they're going to move. Maybe try something else than the Marauder Horsemen. Throwing axes in at the front, they're going to start decimating. They have 0 armor, but they do have some pretty good speed. Ah, they've stopped. If they kept going, you might have caught him unawares. But they need to push over here and try and see if they can get Kurlik Suneater. Don't chase after these. You're never going to catch them. You're just going to get kited. So you need to move over here into the trees. If anybody wants to know a little bit more about the dwarfs, I'll leave a link at the end. I actually did a faction guide, or a faction guide starter for the dwarfs. So it's just a breakdown of the faction, units, lords, what's commonly seen, what's not, and just a little breakdown. You know, for example, what are the Dragonback Slayers? What do they mean? How do they work? And what are they useful for? You know, just a little bit of a breakdown for you guys to give you a bit of a head start into the faction. So as Lindsay is going to be giving up the chase here for the Marauder throwing axes. They're going to have 90 speed. You just have nothing to catch them, apart from sky units. So shots here up against the Iron Breakers. Now, very lucky we didn't see a Royal Dowie Air Force here. That would have absolutely destroyed the caster, and there's just no way you would have caught. Kurlik Suneater wouldn't have been able to do anything, and the Soul of Damnation. It was a big gamble here from... We do have the triple Lord of Throwing Axes, but, you know. The Soul of Damnation is going to be targeting the Iron Breakers, and very smartly so. Good blasting charges, good melee defense, and very strong unit overall. Gore-Beast Chariots, they're going to be fighting in the front here up against the Dwarf Warriors. They'll certainly clean up crew here. Look at them in the front. Oh, blasting charges though. Blasting charges, maybe try to see if they can hit the Marauders possibly. But it's like we are going to have a Flame Storm. No, it's going to be a Lord of the Storm. So Lord of the Storm here from Kurlik on top of the Dwarf Warriors. And the Gore-Beast Chariots have so much mass. They're just going to pull through so easily. So it looks like Codex going to be on the top of the hill. We're going to be shooting using those throwing axes. They're going to be shooting into Longbeards. You kind of want to send something cheap like Dwarf Warriors with shields. Your Longbeards don't have any shields either. So you want to be sending the cheaper units forward. Looks like the Longbeards now could engage up against the Chaos Warriors with great weapons. But they're also going to get a downhill charge. No, that's broken there. So the Marauder great weapons have been broken. But we are going to get some more Chaos Warriors down on the hill as well. Big hit there from the Sword of Damnation. It does have a targeting system, so when it fires in the air, that demon does actually move the same as the catapults there from the Greenskins. So the great weapons also coming to the front line. We have the Urkra Miners. Blasting charges won't really do anything here. They also haven't been utilised. If they're not targeted here, blasting charges will not go off. They do have AP, but they did lose Frenzy with no... So a bit of a nerf here for the Urkra Miners, unfortunately. But they'll pretty heavily lose here up against the great weapons. The great weapons will chew through in no time. They do have 80 armor, but the melee stats are not great. 24, 22. No, sorry, 27, 24, but 22 armor piercing. It's not great. It's not great. So I think the blasting charges are getting thrown into the Gorby's chariots. They'll also do nothing. 130 armor, blasting charges. Anything over sort of 60 armor, they just won't really do any damage against. Big hit there against Thorgrim and his Runesmith. Runesmith took all that punch, but now he's going to target Thorgrim. Thorgrim is counting as large, and we are anti-large now piercing here for the Codex Suneater. What's my melee attack? So 66 melee attack, he should be thumping Thorgrim. Thorgrim does have 62 melee defense. Could certainly try and see if we could use his Oath of Vengeance. 44 seconds for negative 24 melee defense is very nice. But it's like here, we do have the Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons. They'll now be chewing up against Thorgrim. Thorgrim wants this booty. This is a match where normally you don't get Thorgrim wanting this engagement, but Lindsay's like, do you know what? I want this. I want to chase. But looks like though the Runesmith is going to get caught. Rune Negation might need to get utilised here to protect him. It's looking pretty scary here, I think. You lose your Runesmith, and it's looking pretty GG's here, I think. So Miners of Blasting Charges is going to be fighting up against the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. Gorby's Chariot is going to be ruining the day of the Ironbreakers, unfortunately. Great Weapon Marauders, I know, so they should be Chaos Warriors. Yeah, the Chaos Warriors here fighting up against the Dragonback Slayers. That's not a good engagement for them. Let's have a look here. So the Marauders with Great Weapons have been shattered, but broken as well are the Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons. Big punch there up against Thorgrim. And it's like Oath of Vengeance has gone down to 22 melee defense, and they should be able to punch pretty hard against each other. 500 weapon strength for Thorgrim, but we have 540 anti-large and armor piercing for Codex Suneater. Charging in with a cav. I think the cav just needs to drop and just throw here into Thorgrim. They'll do loads of damage. Just loads of damage. Because the Chaos Warriors have been pinned in. Sorry, are pinning in with the Chaos Marauder throwing axes. Just going to keep that Runesmith in. Once you're breaking that Runesmith, just aid him off. Just slowly show him the nice white line. And he'll go here pretty quickly. So big shot here. Ooh, that's a blob. That's a blob and a half there from the Ironbreakers. That should break them, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, not any damage there for them because they were forced by the artillery piece to come forward. So we are going to be using Blood and Boom. The shot here, where are we going for? Looks like we're going to target the Shattered Bugman Rangers. And that is going to be army losses with just the Dragonback Slayers. Big finish. PE is cool, no Dowie allowed. That is true. There is no Dowie allowed in PE, which kind of sucks. Oh yeah, Nick Bit is terrible, but I heard he's really attractive at least. Well, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. That is the big rumours here in the industry for Warhammer, is that Nick Bit is an amazing looking guy, even if he's terrible at Warhammer. So 1,200 for Thorgrim Grudgebearer, 320 for the Runesmith. 260 for the Miners of Blasting Charges, 300 and 140 with 308 for the Dwarf Warriors, 202 for the Great Weapon Variety, and 113 for the Urkra Miners. We got 206, 72, and 256 from the Longbeard Great Weapons. 614 for the Dragonback Slayers, 217 for the Ironbreakers, and it's like 290 and 478 for the Bugman Rangers. Now, obviously, Lindsay here is not a dwarf player. She loves her Wood Elves, she loves her TK, and she generally loves the elves. No, exactly, and I applaud that. I applaud that, Davina. So what I'll do for you is I'll tell you a little bit, as a dwarven main, some things that you might want to consider in the future, and this will be for any player at any level. Thunder is here, obviously a great option. Generally, cannons will destroy the Soul of Damnation. on range, they have very good targeting, and actually the hitbox there for the cannon is huge. So for those that don't know, artillery pieces actually have their own health, and if you shoot the solid ammunition, which invariably with the arc angle of the cannon shot, you will be hitting the hell cannon the majority of the time, you can actually take them out pretty nicely. Other than that, I think throwing axes, so the rangers with the great weapons, with those nice throwing axes are very good. The ROR is probably your best choice. At least taking one of those is quite nice. And then maybe 3 units of Thunderers, just to deal with all the infantry, etc. And also slam up against Kolek. Rune of Slowness is good for the Runesmith. I think Rune of Speed is very nice. I think they're the 2 runes you kind of want to take. Gives you that increase to speed, and then also gives plus 24 melee attack. Now, of course, you're forced to use Thorgrim, so there with Thorgrim with the Rune of Speed, you could have buffed both together, but the fact you took a Runesmith was really good. That was really good. Blasting charges, I would say drop the Akramanas, take 3 normal blasting charges just to deal with cheap Marauder great weapons. You'll normally see 3 picked here, and then quite a few of the Chaos Warrior great weapons. And then for great weapons, you can use some Longbeards. Rune of Speed on those to fight with the Longbeards up against the great weapons should allow them to win. Or, yeah, that should do. Or a Rune of Negation to buff one up as well, depending on whatever your stance is. And then some Dragonback Slayers, a normal Slayer, and I probably wouldn't go Ironbreakers. I don't think Ironbreakers offer too much. They have good blasting charges, but the melee stats is what you really need here. I think drop the Ironbreakers, maybe pick up some extra Slayers, and yeah, it's not too bad overall. Bugmans don't have much AP. They don't offer too much. They're really expensive for what they do. I probably would have just gone Thunderers there instead. Yeah. So drop these 3. I think they're quite expensive, so you're probably looking at, what's that, 1.3 there. So it's 2.1, 2.9. So you're dropping about 3,000 value there from these 3. And then I would pick up... Oh, here's another thing as well. If you're going to go with a Runesmith in this particular example, take his ring. If you take his ring, that's a 20% weakness to fire. And then you can also partner up the ROR Dwarf Warriors that have the Flaming Axes. That can be a nice partnership as well. Yeah, they can be, and they're anti-infantry, so they can deal with like Marauders and Marauders with great weapons pretty nicely. And they have like 52 melee defense, and punching them is pretty difficult as well. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, maybe there are a few suggestions. Hopefully that helps. And if you guys do want a video of how to do that, maybe a little bit better, let me grab that for you. Let's see if I can find this here. So it should be this one. Brand new. So should be able to grab that. If you guys do want to see a video about how that could help there with you about playing Dwarfs a little bit more, maybe breaking down the faction for yourselves, that video there for myself will give you a good starter. It is an hour long, but it is going to give you a good introduction. That's going to lead into a series of how to play the Dwarfs, and that'll be a series that goes through every single matchup for them. So that'd be like Dwarfs against Lizardmen, that'd be Dwarfs against Empire, Dwarfs against Chaos, for example, and how to play it. And this one here will break down all of the units, what they mean, what they do, and how they utilize their maximum. So hopefully that can help for you guys as well. So Kolek, 1,850, 1,300 for the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, 670 for the Marauders, and 370 with 380 here for the Chaos Marauders. 430, 800, and 1,065 for the Great Weapon Chaos Warriors, 630 for the Gorbeast Chariots, with 563 for the Throwing Axes, 750 and 370, with 1.3k here from the Soul of Damnation. The only other way you could have played that is perhaps going an Air Force. An Air Force could have been quite nice otherwise. No, so people get Thorgrim and Thoric mixed up a little bit. So Thorgrim is the main one. He's a bit more of he's a very good support lord for sure. Dowie needed, Way Watchers. Oh, I've done better. Nothing under 5'10", tall for me. Yeah, I can agree. So CJ, me and CJ had a chat a long time ago about the matchup with Dwarfs against Tomb Kings. It wasn't terrible. It's not great for Tomb Kings, but it certainly got a lot worse. It has certainly got a lot worse. That's for sure. So Hayden is in. So let's update the scoreboards. We should be here with 3 now for the man, the myth, the Caradoc legend. And if we do go here with this, we can remove Lindsay, and we can put in the SPQ No. SPQR. Hey! Go on, we'll put Hayden in. Perfect. So, let's go here with Mr. Caradoc. Let's Ranald's gift this. Let's see what he's going to get. They're trying to get something different for him. Trying to see if we can get something nice and obscure.
Attack the mortals!
We had vampire counts not last time but the time before, so we'll re-roll that for him. Try and see if we get something different here. Let me just get my cup of brew ready. Could do with a cup of tea, I think.
The true king!
Okay, he was Dark Elves to begin with, but we can see Morathi. Yeah, why not? Let's go with Morathi. Or, I'll tell you what, because he's already been Dark Elf, we'll give Morathi to Hayden. Try and see if we can roll something different here for Caradoc. Let's try and see if we can roll something different. Okay, we're getting some similar rolls here, I think. So I think so. We haven't had Beastmen yet. We haven't had Empire, Greenskins, Norska, Lizardmen.
Time to kill.
Stop the unclean. Alrighty. Yes, yes. Alright. Throt the unclean. Lovely jubbly. I did play in Warhammer 1 a few times. Oh, fair enough. F. Thorgrim. Hey Jason, how you doing, my friend? What you say? Needed an Air Force, hard for Chaos to counter it. They have some good tools to counter it for sure. Like for example, 3 units of throwing axes, double manticore, and that should do generally. That can do pretty well, but it is hard to counter. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Your second comment. Yeah, it can be done, but it is difficult. You're right. And it all comes down then to the dwarf player. If they've got the micro to do it, what a lot of people will do is they'll go like, say, they'll go like the anti-large fire damage gyrocopters, so the brimstone guns. What you actually need is you go 3 of those, and then you go 2 of the gyro bombers with the slow. You can just go 2 of the cheaper ones. You don't necessarily need the ROR in that particular matchup. You can go like 2 of the gyro bombers at 1150. You could go the ROR if you want for the extra damage. If that's, I mean, you're throwing all your money in it anyway, so in my opinion, you might as well for the extra damage. It increases by like 400 armor-piercing weapons, missile strength anyway. So yeah, doing that can be good. Those 5 units, if one does chase you, so let's say one manticore comes out, it's a little bit isolated. You can shoot it, and then you can drop with the other gyro bomber, and then start shooting the gyro bomber, and you just keep dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Skaven versus Dark Elves even. Relatively, yes. I would say relatively even. Not super even. I'd say it's always favoured Skaven for the majority in the last couple of patches, but I'd say it's becoming more and more even. I think with Morathi inbound, I think... You got Throt, though. I think it's going to be hard with Morathi. You've got the Optimal Lord. Morathi was certainly... This is even. I think this is even here. I think Morathi certainly jumps up Dark Elves by at least a tier on her own. She's that strong. Come on, we all know this matchup belongs to Rakarth. Indeed, I love Rakarth. I love Rakarth. Everything belongs to Rakarth. This is true. This is true, Nickbait. This is true. This is true. This is true. Right, so, the map. We will play on... I can't remember, is Castle Drakenhof any good? I seem to remember it not being that great. I believe the City of Bones is a nice map. Just in case I won't do anything stupid, I will just pick a decent map. Let's go with Eschken. I like Eschken. Heresy. It belongs... I belong to Mama. I mean, you do. You are the biggest simp. Zypher, you are the biggest simp. Actually, let me ask you this question. So, I've started the Short Bid League. So... Right, there we go. So let me ask you this question. So, I've been doing a Short Bid League recently, which is all for brand new players. I just sent you guys a question. Would you like a league that is open to any players at any level? So, essentially, it would be a league that is open for the top, in theory, the top level players. There's a few ways we would run it, but essentially, you would basically earn the right to play in the major league. You'd have to go through... You'd essentially have to go through a playing process or a knockout process to get into the top. So the way it might work be, let's say that we have 4 under tiers, so we have like 4 under leagues. You all play in the leagues, and let's say the top 2 progress into the top league. So we'd have 8 players playing in the very top league for the top place, of which. Then there might be some prize, something like that. If that's something you guys are interested in, that's something that me and the admin team can think about. That's something we can try progress in the future. It'd be 1 major league rather than what we've got down below. So what we've got at the moment, if we've got 4 different leagues at different levels for the Short Bid League. So the way the Short Bid League works is you sort of come in as a no bid, and then you get promoted into the Urkran Miners, move from the Urkrans, and you go up the 4 leagues until you get to the top league, which is the Peak Gate Guard. Once you've won that, you then progress out of the tournament. Essentially, once you progress out of the tournament, you can no longer play in the Short Bid. You now become a long bid. And the only way to become a long bid is to get promoted from the Short Bid League. By the way, Logic, what will happen to the players that finish the Short Bid League? What do you mean finish the Short Bid League? The only way I can see a league works is if only people play with your score. People play with my score? What do you mean? Oh, so the other 2 answers, so no is just no, I'm not interested. I'd rather like more videos, whatever, other content such as this. And no, I'd rather more tournaments is something else for me to know as well. Like, if you just rather have more tournaments, then fair enough. Both are basically added together. Just the other one is, would you prefer more tournaments otherwise? You know, just as an extra knowledge for me. Yeah, so the winner of the Peak Gate Guard, which this is what I think you're asking, CJ. So the winner of the Peak Gate Guard will get promoted out of the league, essentially. And then they're done. They become a long beard permanently. But here's the thing. For this top league, if you are playing in the bottom league, so if you're playing in the Short Bid League, you cannot play in the top league. You can't play in the open. Because it's not fair that you play in both. You play in one or neither. People with the same ratio as you. People with the same ratio win around you. So the way the other league will work is entirely performance based. You either win or lose, and the most wins will go through into the final league, essentially, as it were. So for the Skaven, we're going to be having Rat Ogres alongside the very nice Flaming Sword Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. I like them very much. Skaven Spears, Skaven Slave Spears, some more Rat Ogres, some Clan Rat Spears, Skaven Slave Spears, and some more Clan Rats with Rat Ogres. We are going to have the the Natty Bobo Sharpshooters, the Warclop Giselles. And so we're going to have 2 Warclops here in the back, one just normal as well. With, God, an F-ton load of Rat Ogres. Single Poison Wind Mortar. Poison Wind Mortar is always very good, 250 range, I believe. Good poison mechanics and armor piercing. We are going to have a Warlock Engineer with the Warp Gale, and it looks like the Lightning spell, I think. Yes, Warp Lightning and the Musk of Fear. Negative 12 melee attack and negative 4 leadership for 8 seconds is no joke. But Throt the Unclean with the Beast Pack, as well as Creature Killer, the Remolded, and all the other good stats, including Regeneration and Frenzy. Here for the Plague Priest, we will have the Vermintide spell, and if we have Vermintide, we should... Oh, it doesn't have to be passive. Very interesting. Having that passive can be quite nice as well. I think it's a negative Vigor, negative Leadership. Interesting. So, Flying High... Oh, and sorry, there's some more units. So, Night Runners, and that's it. I'm not a fan of the Night Runners, Gush Runners, this sort of style of play. I think weapon teams are the way forward. In my personal opinion, elite infantry and weapon teams work better in my opinion. I don't like the whole Gutter Runner, Night Runner slinger play, but I'm not a massive Skaven player, so I don't know the most, but that's my personal opinion. So Dark Elves with some Dark Riders on the left. And looks like here we have some Harpies, and we have some Dark Riders on the right. Dread Spears in the front line, mixing them with some Bleak Swords, so some anti-large, and also some normal infantry. We will have the Slanesh Harvesters, the Doomfire Warlocks. They are very nice indeed, with a Soul Stealer. What's up, Mr. RTK, no name? Word of Pain, I'm trying to work out who that is, actually. That might be Slayer, actually. And some more Doomfire Warlocks here in the back. I should have the Lesser Doombolt and Soul Blight. Yeah, that's a Doombolt on Soul Blight. We have some Sisters of Singing Doom with that Terror, and I believe the Madness of Cain. Yes, and that anti-infantry. The Hellebron Bro. The fantastic pink armoured guys. They actually look very nice here with the gold. But they will have those poison melee attacks and all the nice increased stats from their triple gold chevron. Marathi here with the wand, as well as Soul Stealer, the Heart Render, and the Dark Sword, Enchanting Beauty, and the Greater Arcane Conduit. So it looks like we're going to be moving over here on this side, but we actually have some, all the Crows of Cain. So the RR Harpies with that regeneration, well actually the healing combat. The wand did actually come after Throt the Unclean, some good micro there from Caradoc to make sure we didn't get that damage from Throt the Unclean. Probably would have preferred to see the wand maybe on the Warcloppies, but the Warclop Giselles are certainly going to be sniping Marathi in the sky, and that's what they're very, very good at. So that's Soul Stealer here in the front. Looks like Soul Stealer is going to be hitting the Night Runners. Yes, it is. It's going to hit both. So, should get some healing there for Marathi. Marathi's going straight on. She cannot go straight on. She's going to take so many punches to the face. We do have to be careful there. It looks like the Warpling. Yes, so the Howling Warp Gale in the sky. It's going to pin him in place, and now we're going to shoot using the Natty Bobo Sharpshooters. Get rid of those pretty quickly. I thought the Unclean with the Terror is going to be nice and close by. So you should be able to tear out them pretty quickly. As you can see down the bottom as well, they do actually have that Shield Breaker ability, and thanks to the bottom bits, we can get on. We should be... Oh, no, looks like it goes off. So there, Shield Breaker. So negative 24 from that parry. So, yeah, looks like we are going to have the wand here on top of the Warlock Giselle. So that's a nice wand to get in, hopefully, some damage. It actually kills 2 models. We are going to be shooting in with the Night Runners here in the front, up against the Doomfire Warlocks. More shots in the sky here up against Marathi. She does cast a Soul Stealer here up against the Warlocks. Really good luck, have fun from both sides. I like that a lot. This front line does need to keep moving, as well as the Dark Riders. They need to get around the back as quickly as possible. It's okay having a wide force, but the micro does need to supplement that, well, the wideness of your force. If you go for a 20 stack, that's fine, as long as you can get all 20 stack moving around. But it looks like here the Slanesh Harvesters are still going to be fighting. They actually have some Soul Stealers themselves, some Words of Pain. Skaven Slave Spears, which actually have Creature Killer for the bonus versus large. So they don't have great stats, but the added bonus versus large is really going to aid in removing this lightly armored cavalry. In the sky, it looks like Howling Warp Gale. We have broken here. No, okay. Looks like there wasn't, but she has been sniped. She is going to go down, and that will be GG's from there. There's no way you can win without Marathi here, unfortunately. But still trying to see what we can get done here with Hayden. The Hellebronai are going to be fighting up against Glamrat Spears. They're actually going to be fighting a little bit uphill, which is not too advantageous, but they will have that poison. They should be able to beat up against these Clamrats. And they're going to pretty much have better stats anyway. Yeah, 34 against 19. They do have 33 melee defense, but nothing great. We actually have 12 models out of 24 left for the Warlocks here on the left-hand side. They're going to be shooting into the Sisters of Singing Doom. Some fantastically great accuracy from the Poison Wind Mortals here. And they're going to be hitting up against the expensive Sisters of Singing Doom. Over on the right, looks like we are going to be having some Witch Elves in the pocket as well. A nice summon in the front with the Clamrats to pin out and push out the Witch Elves. But over here, we're actually going to be having Spears on Spears. And that's really unfortunate because they're not going to be able to punch through the front line too much. And those summons just going to be keeping at bay, allowing the Natty Bobos, as well as the Poison Winds, to keep firing to the front line, do damage up against, and actually kill the Sisters of Singing Doom. That's some really nice play there. Witch Elf's going to be fighting with that Madness of Cain. They're actually going to rampage the Clanrat Spears. We also have Throt the Unclean fighting as well. He should be able to remove pretty quickly. That is going to be Balance of Power, I'm pretty sure. If it's not now, it's going to be momentarily. GG's from Caradoc. Yes. Not quite Balance of Power. Not quite. Is that Balance of Power? This is as close to Balance of Power I've ever seen it. There we go. That's Balance of Power. GG's well played. Look into how Turin did the Swiss League. Yeah, possibly. I'll give it a look, Hank. Yeah, I'll give it a look. There should be a second league after the short bid league instead of you carrying on with other tourneys. There is going to be, CJ. I never said there wasn't going to be another. I never said there wasn't going to be another league. Yeah, I never said there wasn't going to be. We're immediately. So the way the short bid league is going to work is we have the Norgrimlings tournament, which is going to finish off Season 1, and then we'll move through into Season 2 almost immediately. So we will carry on with that, but both leagues are going to run simultaneously, so we'll have the top league and the short league going at the same time. So, Marathi, 680 for herself, with 333, 190, 136, and 225 for the Bleak Swords, with 140, 121 for the Hellebronai Bro, with 161, and 157 for the Sisters of Singing Doom. We got 243, 105, with 650 for the Shanesh Harvesters, and 205 for the Doomfire Warlocks. 370 for the Harpies, and 650 here for the Crows of Cain. For Caradoc, we got 450 for Throt the Unclean, 200 for the Warclop Engineer, and 31 for the Plague Priest. 844 for the Skaven Slave Spears. Don't think I've ever seen a damage value line quite so high. 22, 73, and 76 for the Skaven Slave Spears. 114, 140, and 330 for the Clan Rats. 56 kills, 750 for the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Look at that. So much more health, lots more value to get. Probably one of my favourite infantry units for them. They're very strong indeed. 420, with 850 here for the Night Runners, with 1.9k for the Warlock Giselles, 1,550 for the Natty Bobo Sharpshooters, and 830 for the Poison Wind Mortars. 450, 420, and also 316 for the Rat Ogres. Yes, very nice build indeed. Mr. VM Void. How we doing? So, two players going up against each other here. We will move the map onto Astalian Tomb. So, we'll move on here with this. We'll fire this off as we change. So, VM Void lols. Ooh, Sigvald the Magnificent. So normally I would give this, but we actually had it last time. We had Chaos last time here for Mr. Caradoc. So we'll fire up another one. We'll fire up another one just to keep it fresh. Just to keep it fresh. Ooh. Luther Harkon. So since all exchanges, you don't really see him very much anymore, so it's nice to see him here. Alright, and for Mr. Void Lols, let's see what we get. Now we know he's a big VC player, he likes his vampire counts, so it could be interesting to see. Ooh, okay. This is not favoured for Lizardmen, absolutely at all, but I'm happy to see Master Mundi indeed. Obviously he's great on the toilet chair, but on top of Slack, he's a beast, that's for sure. Mazda. Alright, so we're going to be on Astalion 2. Should be pretty fun. Should be pretty... These two very, very good players from the same clan, so it should be exciting. Should be exciting. So, it looks like, would all of you like to... yes. So, 67% of you said yes. So, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. My boy Luther, indeed. I like seeing Luther here. He used to be like the meta pick, but we don't see him anymore. I'll ask you guys another question. Alright, so there we go. We'll ask you another one. So, the reason I asked this is something we could do. Would there be a video going up after stream as well? Only if you guys particularly want me to throw up. If you guys want a video going up afterwards, I'll throw up a video as well. That's not a problem. But obviously, because I'm casting today, the problem with throwing up a video after a stream is that YouTube will invariably... promote either my stream or they'll promote. You can't do two. It will suppress one and promote another one. So essentially, it stops casters from just throwing out multiple videos a day and all of them doing really well, because then obviously people will dominate YouTube. So if I throw out a video after this, it won't do very well, I don't think. So the other question I'm going to ask here is for the top league with their best of three. So once we've got everyone into the top league, no matter how we're going to do it, what we could do is once a week, everybody will play a single game. So they'll play a single best of three in that league. So essentially, if we've got 5 people in a league, there should be 10 games in total. You put more videos as an option. Yeah, so essentially, the thing will happen... It's not too complicated. So it's essentially this is how it works, guys, right? So I'm asking you about content. So if I throw this content out, you're less likely to get videos, right? So at the moment I'm putting out a lot of videos, and you guys asked if I can do a few more tournaments. So I'll be yeah, so essentially what it'll be is, so it's guaranteed that I always cast Battlemania every week. Last week is the first week I haven't done it. So this week now, so Sunday in the final this week, this is the first time I haven't done it in a week in... I can't remember how long. I cannot remember how long since I've done it. So basically, if I cast the best of threes one time per week, you'll miss out on a video or you'll miss out on another tournament option. So essentially, this is basically more content that will be guaranteed once per week for the top league. So what it will guarantee is you'll see best of threes live on stream with me, where you see these people play. But it will take away from video content, it will take away from tournament content, and it will be more league content. So, CJ, I'd love to throw out like loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of content. I'd love to throw out as much content as I possibly can, but I also have to support my own life. So I also have to like make sure that I can survive and eat and make sure that I can do all the things that are necessary for me to survive. So I can't just throw out content all the time. I have to, at the moment, whilst I'm growing, which you guys have been amazing and supporting me, so I really appreciate that. But whilst I'm growing, I need to have... I can't throw everything out all the time. So, like, at the moment, I'm asking you, for the limited time I've got, what would you rather see? Now, I can't throw out a live stream every single day, like I was before. I did it a while ago, where I did, like, I think it was, like, of the 2 weeks that I streamed, I took, like, 1 day off, I think. I streamed, like, 13 out of 14 days, which was awesome. I absolutely loved it. I love streaming. But, of course, I can't do it all the time. And when I do stream it, would you rather see league content for some of the best players? Or would you rather me throw on, say, a tournament where you'll see some faction tournaments? Or you'll see some King in the Hills like you're seeing now? Or what would you like to see? You know, I'm giving you guys options. Would you like to see some more of this content? Would you like to see some more videos instead? What do you guys want? Because, of course, the more you ask for certain things, the more it's going to detract from other content. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that anything's cool with you. But for people here in general, what would you prefer? Like, if you had a choice of, like, roughly what you would... what would you want to see in the week? So when I am casting, when I am doing these things, do you want to see more best of 3 games? So, for example, let's say Karolok and Void are in the top league. Of those 6 players, so it'll have to be an even amount of players in the top. I think the rough example was 8. So you'd see 4 best of 3s in an evening that will be in the video, and then at the end of the live stream, you'll then see the table of where everybody is on their points. And then at the end of the season, when we finished out all the games, you'll be able to see who got the prize, all the final games, and it'll be able to like wrap it all up, essentially. So just tell me, like, would you prefer to see Karen seeing more videos, which I've been posting out recently? I've been posting out, like, a lot of videos at the moment. So I went from lots of live streams to, like, lots of videos. But obviously, the more videos I put out, the less tournament stuff you guys have seen and the less live streams you guys have seen. But obviously, people have messaged me saying, oh, could you do some more live streams again? I'm like, yeah, of course I can. But what do you guys want? What do you guys want? So I've got 11 votes there, so I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to... send up a vote there for what you want to see. I've actually maybe got a question that's a little bit better. Maybe a little bit better to answer, perhaps. So, looks like Void is ready. I'm just going to wait on Carolo. We're going to Stylian Tomb. It's not a massive map. Medium size. Good Vanguard deployment options. We certainly have some good doggos here from the Vampirates. Now, we're expecting wide gun lines here, I think. We're expecting some wide gun lines. Right. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. But obviously, the further I go here, 4 to 6 chameleons are good as my job. Okay, that's good to know, Thorn. That's good to know. But yeah, obviously, the more I can like become dependent on YouTube as a source of income, the more I can offer you guys. You know, the more videos, etc., and just the more content. So, Luther Harkon in the sky, which is probably what I expected here on his Wyvern, I think it is. So he has the Hornswaggle, a nice ability, and looks like the Death Streaks and extra powder. I don't know if that's just set, but obviously that regeneration, the Disrupt, and negative physical resistance, and miscast chance. But here in the front line, we're going to be seeing a Necrofex Colossus. Interesting. We're going to have the anti-large pole on some of the zombies. Some normal zombies, some sirens, looks like some deck gunners, some doggos, more sirens, zombie pirate deckhand mobs, more gunners, and some more deckhand mobs. Some bombers in the back, looks like 2 bombers, and we're going to be having the vampire fleet captain. So, the Law of Vampires here with Taunt, so it's going to be very nice with Hornswaggle, Gate of Nagash, Invocation of Nehek, and the Drowned Dead. So, yeah, very good times indeed. Surprised we're not going to be seeing the double whites here. Well, at least a white, sorry. We were never going to get double whites because we need magic, but just a single white might have been nice. But looks like we're going to have a Necrofex instead. So, Chameleon Stalkers in the front line with some Chameleon Skink Javelins, as well as some Skinky Boys, Javos, some more Skinky Boys, and looks like some more Javos, and, ooh, Sacred Coxagors, interesting. So, Sacred Coxagors actually have magic attacks, lots of armor piercing as well. They come in here with the big fists. Look at those bad boys, look at them! They're so goddamn gorgeous. Right, so they're going to have the cohort of Sotek, the RRR Red-Crested Skinks. We're going to have Lord Mazdamundi here on the toilet chair. He's going to be just chilling here with the Ruination of Cities, Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Net of Amantok, Cold-Blooded, and the Greater Arcane Conduit. The Fire Lizards in the back with the Umbral Tide, and it looks like here we have some Saurus Warriors and a Skink Priest of Beasts. He should be... Oh, Transformation of Kadon. Interesting. I was expecting probably Flock of Doom, but we had to take Master, so I think, you know, maybe not going too much. But Saurus Warriors with shields, Skin Cohorts on the flank with the Silvers. Very interesting. So we do have some Doggos in the back. Yeah, interesting force. The Fire Lizards, the Fire Doggos, could do pretty well here. They could do pretty well. They don't have magic attacks? No, just armor piercing and fire damage. Could be very good here up against Luthor Harkon with that healing, so with that regeneration. But it looks like we have the double Chameleon Stalkers. We'll be very good at removing trash. They 75 missile strength, only 50 range, but they can fire whilst moving. They have physical resistances and range resistances and all of the above, and poison melee attacks. Yes. So pretty interesting. Should be pretty interesting. Moving forward is going to be Luthor Harkon from Caradoc. And we're going to be shooting here with the Necrofex Colossus. Now, he counts as an artillery attack. He's going to aim down line here. What are you going to be aiming at? He's going to shoot. And he's going to be shooting at the Saurus Warriors, I think. Yeah, so good shot there. Looks like we didn't get too much damage. 2 models going down. But I think here Luthor Harkon will more than likely come after Mazda. Get a couple of shots on Mazda. Not a super amount of range. 90 range. Can certainly get shot here by the Chameleon Skinky Boys. Looks like they've been left on skirmish. So Mazda is going to come forward. Shots going into Mazda now. He does have Apotheosis and Net, so maybe, yes, so there we go. That's what I was expecting. We're going to see a Net, and now we're going to push him with those Chameleon Skinks and get those Javos in as well. Try and see if we get some good damage in the sky up against him. Just trying to see if we get some free damage here, there, and everywhere. Shots hopefully going to be ripping into the Skinks. Trying to see if we can break some of those. We're in the front getting shot as well. Lightly armored here. Only 75 armor for such a big single entity monster. It's going to get hit pretty hard here from the Chameleon Skinks in the front. So it looks like here you did call it, Mr. Blackthorn. But some shots here in the sky for Luthor Harkon. Going down to 77 speed. I believe it's 48 here. Yeah, 48 for the Chameleon Skinks. Apotheosis to heal the Skinky Boys. You want to keep those nice and high. Keep those numbers nice and high so you can keep the full value of that range. Shots here going into... What are we aiming at here? Looks like we're aiming at the Saurus Warrior shields. Shots here in the sky up against the Luthor Harkon. The fire damage will do extra. I think it's 25% still up against that regeneration. He's going to be regenerating. He's going to be moving back and forward here, but he's still going to get that damage up against himself. So that... sorry, it's sent a message. So we will get that healing cap a little bit closer. Now we are going to push forward. Now we should be able to push around the flanks here. We're going to have to wait for those Saurus boys to get in. They'll certainly pack a punch. Once we have a summon here of the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Now we do have to be careful. Hopefully get some skink javos in. So, but maybe you don't really want to waste an ammunition here up against the summon. Looks like the summon's not going to be doing too much from Caradoc. He has a lot to micro here with Luthor Harkon in the sky. Damage also is going to go down. Invocation of Nehek here on the Necrofex Colossus. He's going to be getting shot quite a bit here, so we do have to be careful. Now, as we can see, we have the deck gunners. Deck gunners really need to shoot the Sacred Crossguard. Sacred Crossguard will pretty much punch the living hell out of these sirens. Sirens could be utilised here to try and see if we get into the front. It looks like we are going to have a summon here of the Ferromanticore. And if there's one thing you can always say about Void Lols, he comes with excellent build preparation. He really does. His build prep is some of the best I've seen. He really, like, every time he brings something, I can see why he brought that. I can see why he did this. I can immediately see why he's utilised what he's utilised. And how we planned on using it. But the Umbral Tide here is going to be shooting after the Vampire Fleet Captain. Still firing using the Necrofex Colossus. But we do have the Manticore in. The Manticore looks like it's been pushed after the zombie pirate Deckhand mobs. Interesting. I thought he would have come after the Necrofex. Sure, there once is going to be protecting the Sacred Croxigor. Taunts for that negative armor, negative melee defense, and negative speed on top of those as they fight up against the Vampire Fleet Captain. Shots in the sky here from the Umbral Tide going into Luthor Harkon. Each one of those fire damages here doing more and more damage over time. God, they're just absolutely destroying Luthor Harkon at the moment. In Middle we have terrified the Chameleon Stalkers. Oh, we are going to have a banishment though here up against. Oh, banishment is going to catch a few of the anti-large polearms. It didn't quite catch any of the bombers here in the front. So it looks like we are going to get away with that. The Chameleon Javelins are going to be getting taken down by the zombie pirates. And now are moving in the Saurus Warriors. The Saurus Warriors should be able to have a nice punching. They're pretty thick boys, so they should do pretty well here. As long as we're not fighting against Sirens, we do actually have some Sacred Croxguard here. Cold-blooded, to give them that added leadership. Hopefully they can punch in here. Where are the Sirens? There's one over here. Yeah, there's two over on the left-hand side. That's a good. They're moving away here from the Sacred Croxigors. Luthor Harkon, if he can deal with the Sacred Croxigor, that could be quite nice. Just removing those guys could be very handy. 9 models left here, and he's going to be shooting doing some decent damage, because obviously they're going to be a perfect counter to removing the Sirens. If you don't remove them, it could get pretty difficult. So Balance of Power is going to be going into the Lizardman favour. But as we can see, the Stalkers still have ammunition, but they're going to be fighting in combat. I think they're going to lose here, potentially. Cold-blooded is going to aid them in their fight, keep them fighting just a little bit longer. They have physical resistance and range resistance, and they're pretty tanky in general, considering, but they are quite expensive. So you would hope they have these sort of items. Stalkers should be able to aid here up against the Saurus Warriors. Bombers are going to be firing in. We do have 60 armor here and the shields from the Saurus Warriors, so they can negate a lot of that range coming across them. But negative 84 leadership there is going to shatter them. Zombie pirates should follow suit very quickly. Negative 41 leadership, they're going to be dropping very hard here. Balance of Power heavily shifting now in the favour. Necrofex Colossus, if we get some healing there, we can certainly pull Balance of Power back. But we're losing those gunners, and they're very good at removing all of this trash that comes from the lizard men. The skinks and the cohorts, just removing those is what they're perfect at doing. So negative 46, yeah, that's those guys gone. Sirens are doing okay. They'll do average against Saurus Warriors. They won't do great. They do have armor piercing, and they do come with that charmed, but their hit points are not that high. They're pretty low on the hit point pool, 1.6k, as they fight up against these skink beasts. But we should be able to get Mazda. Mazda has magic attacks, so we should be able to... Oh, no. The boys, they're in. They're getting that charge animation, and they're going to slap these ladies, unfortunately. Yeah, they're going to have their way with them, I think. Yeah, big punches. They're going to pretty much kill models for every single year. 120 armor piercing, weapon strength. Armor piercing not too important, but that weapon strength is huge. They'll pretty much kill a model per go here. So it looks like we are starting to collapse. Almost the majority fighting in the trees here. But both sides are fighting in the trees, so it's absolutely fine. And it is of no advantage to the Vampire Pirates, as a lot of their entities are just super large. So the Crab's large, the Necrofex Colossus is large, and also Luthor Harkon's large, so them fighting the trees is of no advantage to them. Looks like the anti-large polearms I'm going to be moving forward. Maybe worth them fighting up against Mazda Mundi, trying to see if we can claw back some of this leadership. If we can fight here with the anti-large and armor piercing, get some good damage on Mazda, he's going to hold a lot of balance of power. In the sky, though, Luther Harkon, a lot of this range has been utilised. If we can actually pop some shots into Mazda, we could really start putting about balance of power. And I think that's what's going to be key here, because otherwise I don't see how we can win. We're going to be starting to really get hit heavily on the balance of power. Banishment is going to just destroy the Sirens, and it's like Ruination of Cities as well. Ruination of Cities goes in the northern direction here. One was really nice here up against the Sirens, going left there and to the west, but the northern one actually just doing more damage up against the Lizards than anything. Necrofex is going to be negative 16 leadership, 135 health. He'll be going down very quickly. Balance power is heavily shifting now as we have all the Chameleon Skink shooting here into Luther Harkon, who's been netted, and that is going to be the game. Excellent game here from both sides. Really enjoyed this one. This was surprisingly, I thought this was heavily VP favoured, but of course you have to bring Luther, who is extremely expensive. Maybe could have brought him on foot, potentially. Something to think about. But I think a wide gun line here, would that have done well? Difficult to know. Difficult to know. So let's jump into it here. Luther Harkon. So only 712 from him. Really surprising. 380 for the Vampire Fleet Captain. 220 and 270 here for the Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mobs with 360, 350 and 240 from the Polearms with 488 and 1005 for the Sirens. 333 with 417 for the Bombers with 280 and only 333 for the Deck Gunners. That is a shame. That is a shame. 927 for the Doggos and 813 for the Necrofex Colossus. Master, though, 970 on the toilet chair, with 16 here for the Skink Priest. Apologies, with 114 here for the Skink Cohorts. 315, 320 for the Chameleon Stalkers. 350, 570 for the Source Warriors. 1,150 for the Red Crested Skinks. Always a very good option. For value, I think they're the second best ROR in the game, compared to their normal. So when we compare the normal compared to the ROR, that increased cost for the ROR Red Crested Skinks, I think they're the second best in the game. They are very strong. It's a very close second as well. I think Alpha Raiders does actually beat them there to the just by a pinch. But 440, 330, and 400 for the Skink Cohort Javelins. 560, 1.6 for Chameleon Stinks, 1.4, and 1,200 here. 600 from the Sacred Kronkzagor, and 1,050 from the Umbral Tide, the Salamander hunting packs. Really, really good stuff. Luther sucks. Luther is hard. Since he got nerfed so hard, Luther is really hard. Luther on foot is interesting. I'm not a fan of Luther, period, but I think Luther on foot there was the way to go. I do, because of the specific parameters of the match. Yeah. The clear problem here is that there's only one Necrofex Colossus. Yeah, true, true. You need at least 7 of them, right? Alright, well, excellent game. Void here. We will now fight... Oh, Mr. Stilmonich. Okay. Mr. Tilbonnet, if you are watching, I have received. I love it. I love it. I love it. Alright, so next here on the list, let's have a look. So, we should have Zypher. Get in here, my friend. Get in here. There he is. So if anybody still wants to sign up, there are still chances for you guys to sign up. If you don't want to, that's no problem as well. But we will be coming to the end of our list here. We will be coming to the end of our list. So there we go, guys. It looks like Mr. Rainrunner has left the PE Warhammer clan. I'll very quickly join that once we have a chance. So yes, I can't believe I wasn't part of PE. Terrible stuff. Yes, so if anybody else would like to play, feel free to sign up. Just join the Discord and there should be an option. It should be in the pinned on the general. So you should be able to jump up there and sign up. If I've missed anybody, admins, do let me know. Right, so let's change the scoreboard. So our current winner here is going to be Mr. Karadoki. We'll go out 4-0, but we'll have Void here coming in with 1 now. So 0 here for Mr. Zypher. Where is he? Yes. XY-fer. And here we'll be putting on Uno for Mr. VM Avoid Lols. Let's jump in here, smash this open, and a Ranald's gift for Void. Let's see what he gets. Mr. King so far.
The true king.
Ooh, we've had Loki. We've had Loki. Do we want Loki again? He hasn't had Loki. We haven't had Loki in a minute. So let's go with Loki again. We don't see Loki very often. Oh, right, and let's go with Zypher. So Zypher is actually a Dark Elf main, so it's gonna be pretty painful for him there. And let's go.
The true king.
Oh. Do we do... I'm a mama main. Are we doing a mirror match is the question. Are we doing Malastar Blade up against Lokir? Are we doing it? Are we doing it? Do you know what? The gods have said it. The gods have said it. I think we have to do it. I think we have to do it. All right, I think we have to do it. I think we have to do it. No, give me another faction. Mirror Pog. I mean, we can change it. We can change it. We can change it. Right, we've had enough votes on this, so I can see that a lot of you would like a top-end league. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Right, very quick one then. Just put yes or no in the chat. Yes. Oh. Yes or no for mirror. Just put yes or no in the chat if you'd like to see a mirror. Map will be Iron Sand Desert. We don't see this one very often. Yes. No. Join here, my friend. I will send you a link. Invite people. Oh, people don't want a mirror. Oh, okay. We roll it again then. We roll it again.
Time to kill.
Quick head taker. Alright. Quick head taker it is. Quick head taker it is. Alrighty. Alrighty. Alright, looks like the Red Wedding would like to get involved. Yeah, so join on the Discord there, and you should be able to sign up. So I'll jump there. We'll get the red in. Nice. Sweet. Oh, thank you to all of my fans. Honestly, Zypher suffer, but I don't care about the Dark Hills. So yeah, there's a Discord link there, guys. Feel free to join that, and you should be able to sign up if you do want to play. Looks like we got one more to play as well, but feel free to sign up if you'd like. So for those that want to join PE as well, looks like Mr. NetBet has actually, on the community resources, put in the PE clan. So feel free to go down there and say what's up. Right, so on Iron Sand Desert, there is some terrain, so you have to be careful with Warlock Giselles, but I think they're perfect in this matchup. Nah, PE mainly British clan. No, I think they're pretty international, I think. But I think quite a lot of them are. I think there is quite a few. He's like Wolfric. Kills lords and heroes. Yeah, pretty much. You just can't fight with it. Hide. Hide with the rat thing. Yes, yes. Alright, so I'm going to ask you guys a question. So there we go, there's the question. So now PE International, Treacherous ability is the best thing in the game. Stay here, I'll get help. Yes, that is my favourite thing as well. Also, it has a miscast chance, I think. Nissan, I think it actually has a miscast chance, so it always does damage to him as well, which is really funny. Yeah, the name is so awesome. Like, it's my favourite thing in general. So, I've asked you guys a question. So, I've gone through a couple of ways of doing different things, like higher levels of like voted tournaments, organized tournaments, leagues, videos. What do you want? I know you're obviously on here I have like over 500 subscribers. On my Discord, I think there's like 300 to 350 of you. But there's only 20 of you here. I say I graciously have 20 of you here, which I'm very excited for. But which, for you guys that are watching right now, what would you like to see the most of? So it seems that a lot of you want leagues. Now, the one thing I like about leagues is really bringing more tournaments and more gameplay here in the community, which we're really struggling for at the moment. And it means there's organized games that can go ahead. And most of it would be like best of 3 and best of 5 generated. And then what I would do is try and stream some of the leagues, I think. To be honest, I wouldn't mind any of them. Yeah, that's fair, CJ. Just which would you prefer? Like videos, obviously you're not going to see me live streaming. Organized tournaments, you'll always see me at the end streaming. Voted tournaments, you'll see me stream almost the entire thing. And then leagues, there'll be a lot of backside stuff, but there'll also be some streaming as well. I can't vote correctly because I didn't see any leagues from my point of view. I would like to see maybe some casts of the short bid league. Yeah, so the short bid league, of course, is going to be the new players. But like, for example, if I was to do more leagues, like let's say I did an open league that you could play in Caradoc, would that be something you want to see some more? So it seems like a lot of you are like way up about the leagues, which is also awesome. If you guys want a league, I'm just going to throw out a big ass league, and the league can go either 2 ways. You can either have a champion. We could do like a champion league, which is where you guys throw up 1 person from your clan. Oh man, I can't. Hey, Muglock, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good time, my friend. Euro Warhammer edition would be fun. Yeah, that's something we can certainly do. A little bit like the WWC. Yeah, so Nissan, I think that's why what I've done is I've organised a short bid league, so you have a lot of the guys down there where they're guaranteed to play people of a similar level. And I think a lot of them, like some of these tournaments, like the top end one that we had with Dilatron, Cadane, Cowboy Bob, TN from Aimer, and we also had Arslan Tech Priest. I think one got 8 wins, 7 wins, 2 5s, and a 2. It was like super tight, super tight. Like, it was really close. There was lots of best of 3s that went to game 3. So, like, I think the short beard league has been a success, in my personal opinion. I just wondered if you guys would like an open-ended one as well, you know, where people could, at the top level, play. And what happens is, with the 4 leagues, you get cut into leagues. So I'd only cast the top league, but the other leagues as well, you could play against each other as an organised thing. So, for the Skaven, so we have 4 units of Wolf Rats with those poisons. No 2 normals with the AP and 2 with the poison. And we are going to have the double Night Runners as well. Over here, we are going to have Queeky. Queeky is going to be supported by the double Plague. So, double Plague, double Packmaster. Frenzy, Regeneration. Yeah, they're pretty good. 95 speed, very good in general. And Queek on foot. Queek with the Dwarf Gouger. And also Trophy Heads with Stand Your Ground, the Verminous Valor, and also the Warp Shard Armor. Very good. Very good. We don't see him at all here in the community, so it's nice to see him here today. Clan Rat Spear Shields, Skaven Slaves, Clan Rat Spear Shields, Skaven Slaves, and etc. Point of Bane Mortars, Night Runners as well. So pretty nice build. And here from Mr. Void, we are going to see, of course, Lokia Feltheart in the sky with his Black Mist. He will have the Noxious Breath and the Kraken Helm. We'll also have some Scourge Runner Chariots, probably the best items here in the Dark Elf roster, that's for sure. We'll have the Sorceress of Fire. She's going to be flying high in the sky on a Dark Pegasus, I believe. I don't believe that's a Manticore, no. It will be a Dark Pegasus. Fireball going down. Burning Head, Fireball, Kindle Flame. What is the target? What are we aiming for here? And we do have Regeneration here. Oh, it's going to be targeting the poison mortars. Yes! Lovely! Killing 2 models immediately. That is gorgeous work there from that fireball. Oh, awesome! A War Hydra as well with those breath attacks, regeneration, 2 Eagle Claws. Sorry, repeater bolt throws, I should say. Apologies, mixing up all the elves. Bleak Swords in the front, 4 units. Double Dread Spears in the back with also some Dark Rider Shields. If you have excellent micro, Dark Rider Shields can truly rack up some value. They are so very good. There's like, oh no, you've got to be careful. Those poison wind mortars are so delicate. They do have 70 armor, but Scourge Run Shouts will absolutely just ruin their day. 6 models left, another fireball coming through. Fireball there, smashing through 2 models, down to 4. 1.1 left, and negative 18 leaderships, and they are going to run away. It's like here we do have the single shots from the Reaper bolt throwers. Down to 4 models here for the poison wind mortars. That is such a huge loss. 1.1k immediately down the drain, and they certainly are worth more than their value cost. All firing breath here going up against the Pack Master. Now, we don't actually have Throt the Unclean, so no bonus as large with the creature killer, but 95 speed here, he should be able to catch up against the Dark Rider Shields. Does have poison melee attacks as well, so he's going to slow him down to a 79 speed. So should be able to remove them here pretty nicely. Lots of shots going into the Pack Master though, so you do have to be careful. As we can see, we have the Wolf Rats of Poison that have been terrified using Lokia Fellheart on top of his Black Dragon with the Wolves here with that poison in the back as well. Can they catch here? They might be able to catch up against the Squadron Chariots. They are going to catch. They are going to pin in, and they are going to do some damage. But we do actually have, oh, they have such a leadership. It's like 30-something, 38 leadership. So the negative 8 there from Fear, and then that Terror as a multiplier, and also taking damage. They just break so easily here. Loki has been moved around with that 90 speed really nicely, and just imbuing Terror everywhere. Moving in the middle here with the Wolf Rats with Poison. They're going to be coming in and starting to remove some of the repeater bolt thrower crews. Now we're really pushing in with the Skaven. This is some nice play from Cypher. He's playing very well indeed. Burning Head going in the front here. Looks like we are going to bring in the Wolf Rats. Some damage going out on the Clan Rats. Oh no, we might come on the Skaven Slaves as well if we're not careful. They have no armor, so Burning Head does some exceptional work. As we can see, we are going to get the Murderous Prowess with all those lovely stats. Duration here is 1.5 minutes as well, so absolutely no joke. A lot is getting broken down here from Cypher. It looks like here we have some nice fiery attacks on the War Hydra. They're going to be shooting into the Rat Ogres. Good arm piercing from them, supporting alongside the Pack Masters. Clan Rats with the Spears and Shields going to be fighting in the middle. Butt Riders are in and up against the Night Runners. Not great from them, but the Night Runners should be able to fling over the top and get some good damage on the Dark Riders facing the wrong direction. They only have 30 armor overall. Looks like here we are going to Terrify. Oh no, I think they cause Terror, don't they? Yeah, Pack Masters cause Terror. So they haven't been terrified, just been broken. Pretty interesting. But also they have been broken. Fireball, maybe this horse has a fire. Not 105 speed. She should be able to move off the Pack Master. Now, it has 105 speed itself, but she should be able to help with that White Line Fever. Now we can see the Poison Wind Mortars might be able to shoot up against the Bleak Swords. Hopefully we can remove that frontline infantry. Otherwise, unfortunately, we could be losing the Poison Winds. Now they're going to be shooting here, I think, into the War Hydra. Now the War Hydra, no. What are we shooting at here? Looks like we're going to be shooting up against the Dread Spears. Dread Spears are going to take some damage there over time, thanks to that poison. We do have some Clan Rats shields. Should be able to clean up crew here. Balance of power massively in the Dark Elf favour, unfortunately. We are going to get regeneration from the Pack Master. Now, if we can heal before he gets to the White Line, which is not far, he does actually have 23 leadership. It all comes down to this. If he comes back, there's a strong chance we can do well here. We have regeneration for the nice heroes. That are exceptionally fast. 105 speed from the Sorcerers of Fire. Now, if we do become a little bit more powerful here, 35 leadership? Maybe, I'm not sure. If it goes here, we've lost, I think, with the Skaven. Where's Gouger? So Gouger, Queeks in the middle, Dwarf Gouger, 24 melee attack, armor piercing, healing. That's such a shame. Okay. Yeah, I don't see us winning there, because unfortunately Quick's on foot, and he doesn't have immune to psychology, so he can be feared and terror-outed pretty quickly. I mean, he's a really cool entity to look at anyway. He's just going to be coming with those double picks, coming to just smash out some infantry. He is going to be chasing after the Dark Riders. We also have the Poison Winds. He needs to keep these Poison Winds alive. They are the win condition now. I don't know how he's going to remove the Hydra, because he's got the Hydra and Loki felt hard to deal with. A lot of it is going to be shattering that. It's going to be balance of power. GG's, well played. Excellent. That was a brilliant effort there from Cypher indeed. I actually really like the double Pack Masters, but of course, with 105 speed, you have the very fast sorceress that was able to chase one off, and from there, that was GG's. If you were able to get back that hero and heal, you know, at least heal half, the balance of power really would have started to come back into the favor, and then maybe you could have used both of those in Queeg to take out and like try and see if you can either snipe Loki, or maybe try and see if you can snipe the Hydra. But removing the repeater bolt throwers, Scourge Runner is also very good as well. As we can see here for the Dark Riders, 710 and 350, so really, really good work. 35 from Queeg, 95 and 114 for the Packmaster. And this is pretty much why you don't see Queeg too often. Had no engagements, 35 damage value because he's on foot is the problem. 55 from the Clans, 113, and from the Spears, looks like we got 230, 230, 160. Night Runners 560 and 370, with 255 for the Poison Wind Mortars. 166 and 205 for the Wolf Rats, and the Poison Varieties 350 and 87. 628, 501 and 321 from the Rat Ogres. So 1,100 from Loki of Felheart, 655 for the Sorceress of Fire, and 333, 568 for the Anti-Large Dread Spears, and for the Infantry 280, 88, 300 and 280 for the Bleak Swords. As we saw, 710 and 350 here from the Dark Riders. Still loads more value to give. Their mobility, just how cheap they are, just makes them so good here for the Dark Elves. Scourge Runner 680 and 540 here. So we've got 700 for the War Hydra, with 350 and 320 for the Reaper Bolt Throwers. Very good stuff indeed. GG's, well played. So let's go through here. We should be able to go on to Mr. Voidlaw's score and put him up to 2. Very good. So let's see what faction we're going to get for him here, whilst we're waiting for somebody else to join.
Time to kill.
Oh, Lord Skrulk. Okay. Lord Skrulk, interesting. Ah, Red Wedding Planner, welcome. Void, you are Lord Skrulk. So it looks like 12 of you had voted here on... So it looks like a lot of you are not so bothered about having as many of what we're doing today. I mean, I'm sure you guys... I hope you guys have enjoyed today. But it looks like you are interested in having a good level of organised tournaments, videos, and leagues. That's what you're more excited in. Okay, that's really good to know. That's really interesting. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to vote as well. So don't forget these votes when you are voting here on the live stream. I can't see who voted for what. It's just numbers for me, just percentages. I can't see who liked what or whatever. So, yeah. Hey, Nirob, how you doing? Hey, just finished my last game with Cyrus. At least it was not as shameful as the other ones. No problem, Nirob. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed all the organised tournaments, mate. Feel free to drop a message down here about what you liked about it and maybe ways we can improve it, perhaps. So, let's go in here with the Red Wedding Planner. And let's see what he's going to get.
The true king.
Okay, we've had lots of Dark Elves, so let's try and get something else. We've had Collect, let's try with something else. We haven't had any Beastmen. We haven't had any Empire, any Greenskins, any Norska, any Wood Elves.
The true king.
More Dark Elves. Let's try for something else, eh? Let's try for something a little bit different. Something a little bit different to cast.
Time to kill.
That's harsh. That's harsh. Right, we just had Skaven. Let's try something different. Come on, Ranald, we can do this. We can make it unbiased. Alright, fine. We'll do Nakai the Wanderer. You got to do Nakai. You got to do Nakai. You can't not do Nakai. We've only had one Lizard Man today, so... All right. Yes, I can, Jason. I just, yeah, I should do that next time. Yeah, you're correct. I should do that next time. This is the last game anyway, so I think. I don't think anybody else wants to... I mean, if anybody else wants to play, feel free to send yourself forward. But ooh. Nice big victory here from Nirob up against Cyrus. Ooh, big win in that in the league. Fantastic. A big upset here. So if anybody does want to play, feel free to drop down below if you want to have a quick game before we finish up today. Or if not, we can... map will be... Let's go with Karak Asgal. A video today. So I've actually asked... So we've had CJ that's asked for a video. I could throw up a video if you like. If you want me to do a video... what's the time? I'd have 2 hours to make a video. I could make a video. I actually haven't eaten yet. But I can certainly make a video if you guys want. I think you can... Oh, yeah, just saw it, yeah. Oh, so it looks like we've had 13 votes on this. So we'll end that poll. I've certainly got some video potential. I've got some things I can cast. What do people enjoy the full Wood Elf cavalry or the no range Wood Elves? I thought that was super interesting from Ducky. He just bought no range. So yes, please. All right, let's see if these guys are ready. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Roger, did you see my messages upper? Sorry if missed reaction. Oh yes, I actually saw that there was no magic. Do you know what? I didn't even recognise that the Skaven brought no magic. I've just realised that. That was bold. Yeah, so no worries, guys. If you want a video today, I can certainly try and throw one out. Or I could just wait for tomorrow. I'm gonna be hanging out in the Discord otherwise. So if you guys want to come hang out in the Discord instead. I think Logic can cast your best of 3 if you don't want to show one terrible game. I mean, I could cast a best of 3 from maybe my favourite best of 3. I was either going to cast my favourite game for the season or my favourite best of 3 for the season. I wasn't sure yet. I wasn't sure. So, for the Lizardmen, we can see here. Oh, the double Stegodon here. Oh, with the bows on the back. 360 range, 371 armor piercing, and poison missile strength. The triple Saurus Warriors with shields. Oh, sorry, made that double spears, but 1 normal Saurus Warrior. 4 units of the skin cohorts. Would like to see the Javos, but looks like we're just going to have these normal ones. And in the sky, we'll be having the Skin Priest of Beasts with the Curse of Anera, Flock of Doom, and the Rock Drops. The Saurus Scar Veteran, naked here with Cold-Blooded, and Nukai the Wanderer here with Primal Roar and the Miasma of Despair. Not here with the Perfect Vigor, which is interesting. I do like his Perfect Vigor for sure. The Chameleon Stalkers on the left flank, 2 units, and perhaps 2 on the right, maybe. No, just 2 on the left, I think. Mies thinks. Very interesting. So, for the Skaven, here, we are going to be having... I can't see Skrog. We'll come back to Skrog. But we are going to have some Poison Wind Globes. 2 units. In the middle, we'll have an Assassin. 3 units of the Skaven Slaves in the front. But let's have a look here at the Assassin. Assassin will have Concealment Bombs, Assassin's Trophy, Rival High Talisman, and Slippery. Here in the middle, we'll have the Rattling Guns, Clan Rat Spears, Clan Rats as well. And some more Clan Rat Spears, Spears, the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, as we've already spoken about those, and the Council Guard Storm Vermin. Look at these bad boys, they are meaty indeed. They will have that Guardian Unbreakable status and all the good anti-large armor piercing stats. Let's have a look here. Where is Lord Skroggy? So Skrog is going to be in the front here and up against the Poisonman Mortars. 1.1k for these bad boys. Lord Skrog, the blind pestilence man himself, with this nice flail. The Liber Barbonicus, as well as the Rod of Corruption. Stand Your Ground, Pestilence Birth, Vermintide, with the Aura of Pestilence, and Plague Rash. Oh, it's negative speed and negative vigor. Okay, I thought it was negative vigor and leadership, but yeah. He does have that Discourage as well. Magic attack, 62 melee attack is not bad for a man who's pretty much blind, I think. So they're going to be hiding here behind the rock, which is very interesting. So this is a nice tactic. Poison Mortars will be able to shoot over, but nothing's really going to be able to shoot it through, such as, for example, Stegodons. We know some Rattling Guns. So I think we're going to be targeting the Rattling Guns. Really nice targeting here coming out of the Red Wedding Planner. Shots moving in the front here from the Poison Wind Mortars. They're going to be firing over the top here up against these Skink Cohorts. Yeah, they are going to be getting damaged over time from that poison effect. Nikai is going to be chilling, like the absolute villain he is. And where are they? Where's the bad boys? Not too sure where they went. So in the back here, here we are. So the Chameleon Stalkers. They should be to come in the back. Maybe try and see if we can move the Clan Rats. Get some nice... Ooh, but there's some Rat Ogres, so we have to be careful. They can't get spotted here. They should have Stalk. Yes, they have Stalk. If we get them into the right moment, if we do actually engage the Rat Ogres, we can actually push in... Oh my god, the Rattling Guns are getting destroyed here. So the Rattling Guns getting destroyed is very nice. Now, having your hero inside of the Skink Cohorts is kind of painful, because he's also going to get hits as well, right? Poison Winds, there's sort of 11 lots of volleys left, which is going to be able to just remove this front line. Then Skaven Saves are going to pour into every orifice here, I think, and they're going to be very difficult to shut down. We do have Terror, though, here in the form of the double Stegos Shielders, and I think it's Fear. Yeah, Fear from the caster. So it looks like here the Skin Cohorts have been broken and perfectly timed. We are going to have Assassin's Trophy here for the Saurus Scar Venture, and he's certainly going to need some assistance. 14 melee attack, 23 melee defense. The Assassin here, 60 melee attack with Slippery as well, giving him 59 melee defense. Should be able to remove the Saurus Scar Veteran in a matter of moments. Nakai's coming through. Oh, the Liber Babonicus is going to be doing some good damage up against him. Oh, a nice yeet there up against the assassin. This should be the rival high talisman. Yeah, negative 40 melee attack going down. I think it's only a one-time use, but it's exceptionally cheap. It's like 80 gold for negative 40 leadership and that massive 40-meter radius. A summon of the anti-infantry plague monks in the back. They should be able to do some good damage up against these Saurus Warriors. Oh, look at that. They're outside the circle and they're still going to get hit by the rival high talisman. We have some firing here from the rattling guns in the back. They're going to be shooting here into the flank of Nakai the Wanderer. Nakai actually has negative only 15. Ah, it's now gone. But he's now going to have 55 melee attack. He could really do with removing Skrulk for sure. 69 melee defense plus that 16 leadership. Thanks to stand your ground, as he's going to be fighting up against Saurus Warriors. But Nakai does need to remove Skrulk. If you remove Skrulk, you can. Oh my god, he's just going to be pushing him around. Seems like here the Rod of Corruption, I would imagine. Yeah, Rod of Corruption is a very strong damage dealing ability here. Sounds like Flock of Doom. Oh, Curse of Venera, negative speed, negative melee defense, negative melee attack. A nice upgrade here in the most recent patch with some of the changes there to the items. But let's have a look. So should be able to push through. Also, Skrulk is going to get away, which is a bit annoying. You want to be able to see Nakai coming after Skrulk. If you ever summon the Clan Rats, you should be able to pin in Nakai. Nakai should be able to slap Skrulk pretty comfortably. But moving in as well is going to be the Council Guard Storm Vermin. Now, they'll do lots of damage against Nakai. Nakai has zero support here. It looks like the Saurus Warrior Spears are going to come in, but Nakai needs to just push through and get out of there. He cannot stay around. So the Saurus Scar Veteran, okay on health. He hasn't been broken, but he should come back. But the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep with that Rage Mechanic should be able to aid in his removal. Yeah, excellent stuff there from Void. That's exactly what needs to be done and when. Moving in the back is going to be the Rat Ogres. It looks like here we do actually have the Chameleon Stalkers now fighting up against the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. They actually have 70% fire resistance, so there's exploding missiles there. I'm not going to really do too much up against them, but they'll remove other cheap infantry otherwise. Poison Wind Globes, they'll do truckloads of damage. For 550 cost, they're just exceptional. Even with all the nerfs, I think they've got double nerfs. They're still very, very good. If they don't at least double their value, you've done something wrong. But here in the middle, this is going to be another Rod of Corruption. What's this? A Flock of Doom. Flock of Doom. Just a normal one, not overcasted, but it still should do some good work here on the Clan Rats and all the nice entities in here, including Skrulk. So we have the double Sheilers with the Liber Babonicus as well. So that's going to go down on one of the Sheilers. That's pretty healthy here. So the Council Guard Storm Vermin stand your ground, giving them 66 melee defense, fighting up against Saurus Spears. And we have AP here from the Council Guard, but not here from the Saurus. Primal Roar, plus 40 melee attack, 20% physical resistance should aid in the removal. They are going to rampage. Negative 18 leadership, they will break, but it should allow Nakai to get in here and really slam. He's going to be fighting up against the Assassin with his 95 melee attack. Excellent. Should be able to remove the Assassin pretty quickly. Flock of Doom again going down. Look at all that damage there. Even going as far out as here, that's really crazy to see that AoE damage coming through. Poison Wind Globe still on the battlefield. Balance of power is going to be in the Lizardman, in the Skaven favour. Lizardmen are starting to break left, right, and centre, shattering here from the Skink cohorts. What's coming back in here? Some Clan Rat Spears. In the back is actually going to be some Poison Wind Globes. They should be able to fire here, maybe up against the... another summon. And a second one coming through from the Plague Monks. That's the second one and final summon here for the nice elite anti-infantry Plague Monks. So they'll be fighting here up against Nakai. Nakai's a monster, so they won't get the anti-infantry buffs, but the damage will do some good work. Flock of Doom again here. It's like Red Wedding Planner will go down. He will bow out. Yes, very good indeed. So, from the Red Wedding Planner, 990 here from Nakai the Wanderer, 165 from the Saurus Scar Veteran. Little thing from me, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Saurus Scar Veteran. I know a lot of people like him. I know he seems like a really good unit. I just don't think he's worth his cost. I think what would have been better is taking all the Skin cohorts here with javelins, pushing them forward, fire them into the cheap infantry, get loads of cheap damage, and then just send in and try and see if you can just bomb rush all of them. Try and see if you can move that front line of infantry, and try and see if you can overwhelm with mass Saurus warriors and some more Chameleon Stalkers, or even Chameleon Skinks for that matter. But otherwise, I really like this build. I like the Stegodons, 900 and 866, 250, 240, and 230 here from the Saurus. who are probably the second most cost-efficient infantry unit in the game. That's after Longbeards. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame there not to see them do so well. But 930 and 500 for the Chameleon Stalkers. Good value there. Frontline 40, 28, 38, 21, and 55. So, getting maybe a sixth of their value. I think with the Javos, dropping Soroscar Veteran, I think just having the Skin Priest of Beasts on foot would have been fine, but I can see why you put him on the Pterodon, make him a little bit more mobile. But I don't think it's worth that cost to put him on. So, he got 1,064 damage value, though. So, you know, I mean, a lot of that will be Flock of Doom, if not all of it. So, I think Transformation of Gadon would have been better, rather than Curse of Venera, because then you could have tried to snipe out Skrull, or maybe try and see if you could snipe out the Assassin, using those items otherwise, or use them to maybe see if you can take out the Poison Wind Globes, or the Rattling Guns, or Poison Wind Globideers. Sorry, the Poison Wind Mortars. But yeah, from Scroll Key, 1,081, 660 for the Assassin, frontline pretty much to garbage, 250 and 230 for the Clamrats, with 170 and 52 and 48 for the Spears. 501 for the kind of Vulcan Tail Slashers. It's such a good unit in my opinion, with 1,150 from the Council Guard Storm Vermin. 530, 1,160 for the Poison Wind Globes, with 570 and 280 here from the Rattling Guns. 736 from the Poison Wind Mortars. 400 and 760 from the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep. Great work. So let's move that up. Here we go with the scores. We'll be having 3 on the doors here for Mr. Void Lols. GG's indeed. So, let's catch up with you guys. So it looks like a lot of you save it for tomorrow. Okay, we'll save a video for tomorrow then. Looks like we have another challenger, so join up, sir. Join up. Join up, join up. I'll give him an invite. Where are we? We have... Where is the Son of the Mountains? Predator. Looks like he's ready. Nice, let's get him in. Son of the Mountains, Predator. Mr. Nirandon. There we go. You're in. Perfect. Gorgeous. Let's move down to the bottom then. Alright, let's jump back in with you guys. Yeah, so with the whole league situation, what I'd like to do is, in some of the top leagues, use some of the days in the week that I have to cast to do, say, Battlemania, and host some of these best of threes in the leagues where you guys can see from the short beards, you can also see to the top level, and we're also going to be releasing these short beard stats. So the short beard stats will show at the beginning level of the game what factions are powerful, and then we can also compare them to the top level. How does it change? What factors taken into consideration, and what we'll have the basic stats. So for each of the 4 leagues, we'll have stats on which did well on the percentage win rate. So let's just take Lizardmen, for example. They had 10 games, won 8. They've got an 80% win rate. And then we'll put all 4 leagues together, and then we'll say that they played 30 games, they got 27%. They got 27 wins out of 30. That'd be a 90% win rate. So yeah, that's one example. And then we'll also have individual, we'll put all 4 leagues together for this one because it makes more sense. We'll have the individual matchups. So if Lizardmen played 30 games against more factions, which 3 did they lose against? You know, for example, how do they do up against the Dowie? Is it 50% win rate against the Dowie? What are we looking at here? What are we looking at in specific? So we have more breakdowns for you guys. Good morning, Mr. Down Under Blunder. Well, it's the evening here, but I hope it's a good morning for you. Hope you're having a good day. So we should have that data coming out for you guys as well. And if we do the league here, the open league, which is where anybody can join, maybe we'll get some stats from that as well. So that also could be good. Mr. Geese Howard, how are we doing, my friend? How are we, Mr. Geese? You're coming in and talking about the league. But I hope you're having a good day. Counts now have 0% win rate at least. I made sure Chaos is at 100%. One really surprising statistic. So at the top level of the game, Skaven just dumpster Dowie. And at the moment, Skaven have lost 100% of their games against the Dowie. It's probably still their worst matchup. I think. Yeah, pretty sure it's their worst matchup still. So that's crazy. which is kind of funny. How you doing, Geese? Hope you're doing well, buddy. The geese among ducks. Hi, 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 hi. Right, let's get this show on the road. Let's get these factions ready. I'm cool. How's you? I'm very good, sir. I'm very good. Thank you very much for asking. So what we're doing here is we are going to be rolling a legendary lord, King of the Hill, for your knowledge, Geese. So what we do here is we roll this, see what we get, and then they have to use that legendary lord. Oh, Gorok here for Mr. Void Lols. It's like that, isn't it? Yeah, Gorok. And let's go with Hiyar again. And let's roll for Mr. Narandon. I'll try and make sure it's not a mirror match. Seems like you guys weren't interested in mirror matches. What about an identical mirror match? Let's not do that, shall we? What are the odds? What are the odds that that would happen again? One straight after another. We've had Lufa. We've got other people. I'll filter it on the next one if it doesn't work properly. I know we've had quite a few games so far, but trying to make sure we don't have the same legendary lords. Ooh, Dreicher. So this is a pretty even one, which is nice. Okay, so Dreicher. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Right. Only Ghost mirrors allowed. Oh god, don't. You'll start reminding Neckbit that I offered him a best of 17 Vampire Count mirror match. Ah, god. But yeah, Geese, we were talking earlier about running a open league. So for you might not know, but I actually run a what's called the short bid league, which is where all the brand new players come in and they play in the short bid. So it's all new players have the opportunity to play against new players in best of threes and try and build up and go through all the leagues. There's 4 leagues. If you win your league, or in next season, if you come top 2, you get promoted. And if you get to the top league and get promoted, you leave, essentially. So it's like a good way to catapult you through. And then after every season, we do the Norgrimlings tournament. So that gives them also tournament experience. So, you know, it runs roughly similar to the WWC, and then tournaments run the same as all tournaments, you know, beyond challenge, etc. So it gives people that experience and the knowledge to know how the scene works here, because it is a bit confusing. I know, right? I know, only best of 17. But we're going to be offering an open one, I think. We're going to offer an open league for any level. So if you play in the short bid, you can't play in the open league, but it'd be open league for all of the top players to play in. So that's an idea here for the channel that we're going to be doing. Yeah, and what will happen is on the top league, so what will happen is you guys will go into pools. You'll go into pools, and then the top couple in each pool will go into the top league. So there might be somewhere in the region between 8 to 12 players, and every single week you'll come on a certain day, and then you will play your matches in best of threes on a live stream. So I'll cast all the best of threes, and then you will have the league table at the end, so we can all like enjoy it together, as it were. And then, you know, below that we can have other leagues, if that's what people want. If people want to play in other leagues below as well, you know, these are things we can talk about. So yeah, it should be some cool stuff. Right, let's have a look. Okay, okie dokie dokie dokie. But yes, Mr. Geese, did you play in the AIMA DBD Clan War? I can't remember if you played. I am one of these shortbeard players. I strongly suggest if you're new, join it. It's great. Oh, I appreciate that, Mr. Blunder. Logic, how many people will move up in the league? I think this season we'll only have one. We'll have one person moving up. Oh, you didn't? Oh, that's a shame. I've watched the first game, and then I had my game, which I've already seen, but I watched back anyway, and I'm just going through it slowly, so just wondering if you played. I let down the clan. I let us down. My Dowie didn't hold true. I had two armies in mind. I was either going to go, so I played against Dilatron, who actually won the Peak Gate Guard League, so the top league, so he'll actually be getting promoted out. But I played a Chaos up against him, which in general is Chaos favoured, but I had a wide force, or I was going to go a Royal Dowie Air Force, and I went against the Dowie Air Force, and I probably would have won with that, but I wanted to play it safer, but safer meant I lost anyway. I'm just trying to get back into playing. Well, hopefully the league could be the way forward. Hopefully the league could be like a good way of like players having like more game times, like guaranteed best of threes like all the time, and that's like something worth playing for. Aimer is a very good clan. Yeah, indeed, they've got some great players like King of the Dead and Dilatron and many others as well as like Tian, etc. So they got great players. Yeah. And it's nice to see them like really jumping back into it as well. Actually, it's really nice to see them. Mr. Overlord has won the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Yeah, I think he has. Yeah. If you get 8 points, you've won, I'm pretty sure. Because you're the only one person can get 8 points. Part Matt really did amazing. Yeah, he beat King of the Dead, didn't he? He beat his Bone Zone. I'm pretty sure. He beat the Bone Zone hard. It's nice to see King of the Dead back. It's nice to see King of the Dead. I really wish they'd put this hotfix in so we could start really getting some like more competitive players back. Because it's nice, but there's a lot of people that like jumped out and just like not playing at the moment, which is kind of really sad. But it's also nice that we're seeing a lot of you like new awesome players coming in as well, like yourself, Dan and the Blunder coming through, and Hank playing lots more games, which is fun. Because I'm loving like hosting. Oh, it's the same map. Fuck. Oh, my bad. But yeah, it's nice seeing all of you guys playing more regularly. But I'm pretty sure he has one, because if you win 8 points, because it's only 4 games, nobody else can get 8 points. Because otherwise, because you have to have beaten everybody then. Pretty sure. So the way it works is in the best of 3, let's say you win 2-0, you get 2 points, or if it's 2-1, you get 2 and your opponent gets 1, or vice versa if you lose. So if you play 4 games, the max you can get is 8. And the max anybody else can get after that is 7. So if you get 8 points, you win. So, oh yes. So here for Predator from Son of the Mountains. Glade Rider Spears. The nice Firebark Elders. Gorgeous unit here. As you can see, they have some really nice abilities. And they have the Wildfire Aura, giving 20% flame resistance. As well as that immune to psychology, Vanguard deployment, fear, fire resistance, missile resistance, physical resistance. You name it, they probably resist it. Dryads in the front line, 3 units, 4 units as well. I thought it was going to be the ROR. Looks like the ROR on the end, but it's not. Over here, we are going to have the Firebark Elders with Ariel. Okay, Ariel and Dreicher. So Ariel will have Berry Wine, the Acorn, the Acorn's Oak of Ages, Soul Stealer, Tempest, Apotheosis, Greater Arcane Conduit, Ancient Protections, Life Bloom, and also the Blessing of the Ancients, which is like broken. I love it. Dreicher with Roused Wrath, and also with the Blessings of the Ancient with Fanatical Resolve as well. In the back, we're going to have some Eternal Guard shields and the double Glade Guard, one with the Starfire shafts. Some more Eternal Guard shields, the Glade Rider spears, and there was a gorgeous unit over here. Yes, there they are. Look at these bad boys. Probably one of my top 5 favourite units in the game. Lost Silver Knights are just gorgeous. Frenzy, listen, you name it, they've got it, man. AP, 90 speed. They are just awesome. They are so goddamn cool. I love them. Immediately spotted is going to be the Glade Rider Spears. I have absolutely no idea how they got spotted, but yes. Chameleon Stalkers, 2 units here from Void. We also have the Cold One Armor Piercing Shock Cavalry. Good 90 armor. Skink Cohorts. Skink Javos. More Javos. Also have some Saurus Warriors. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Saurus Warriors. Skink Cohorts. Gorok. And also the Skink Priest of Beasts. What's up, Mr. SBQR Praetor? But stand your ground and cold-blooded. And here for the Skink Beast, it looks like a transformation of Kadon and cold-blooded as well. In the back, some more cohorts, some more Javos, and some more Chameleon Stalkers. Extra cold one-shot cavalries and some more Stalkers as well. It's going to make quite a wide force here for the Lizardmen. I think wide is not too bad here at the moment. Ooh. They don't do magic damage, but those missiles have done lots of work there up against the Silverin Knights. Very interesting. They have lots of missile resistance. Lots of missile resistance. So, that's good work. So, yeah, I'm surprised the range did that much damage, but it looks like here... Oh no, that's a bad catch there from Void. He's going to be getting caught by the Glade Rider Spears on 2 units of infantry range. No Javos going off, no explosions going off even from the Chameleon Stalkers. That's really good work there from the Sun of the Mountains Predator. But the anti-large spears here not moving. They could really do with getting in the front as the Eld Barkers. But Drychen's going to be sitting in the middle trying to get that mana for Ariel. We're fighting here in the middle. It looks like we have a summon of the Ferromanticore fighting up against the Glade Rider Spears. Probably not best for them. Get in your Eternal Guards. But they are going to be waiting. They've only got 40 armor. Still shielded though, but they're going to be getting shot here from the Chameleon Stalkers. Other Stalkers are going to be firing in the back up against the Dryads. They do okay. They have 5 damage, and they do the extra damage because obviously they have a fight weakness from these Dryads. But yeah, it's looking pretty hard already. So the Acorn of the Oak of Ages going to be smashing here up against the Source Warriors with spears. She also has Terror. She's not unbreakable anymore, but it looks like another Awakening of the Woods here in the back. Oh no, it's going to be a summon, sorry. It's going to be the Benevolent Dryad summon. So that's going to really push out here. Needs to get moving though up against these Skink Javelins because they're going to be firing in here up against the Farbarg Elders. Lost Silver Knights taking on quite a lot at the moment. It looks like Apotheosis for the healing for the Lost Silver Knights. They have good armor piercing, 75% physical resistance, so the Cold War Knights could struggle here. But of course, if they do punch through, they're still going to get 25% damage up against no armor. So they're going to do okay, but the armor piercing is not going to be too advantageous for them. What is this going to be? This could be a Soul Stealer, I think. Yes, it is. Soul Stealer to heal, but also do lots of damage here up against this left-hand flank. 4 units going to get hit as well. That's some really nice work there by Praetor. Balance of Power is going to shift into, and quite heavily into there. It's not quite a bit of a blip jump there for the Wood Elves. Source Warriors of Shield is going to be fighting up against the Dryads in the front, which have Gorok to aid as well. But what do we have to remove Gorok is the question. Glade Rider Spears could break. They have broken here up against the nice cohort. But we still have some of those Javos. Javelins haven't been utilised as greatly as they could have been. The same with some of the range here from the Chameleon Stalkers. They have been terrified. They need to get moved off the edge of the map. They need to go. But Silver Knights, they're going to be moving into aid here up against the cohorts. Remove those, terrify them as well. And what they need to do now is keep healing, keep moving around, and then keep just smashing up and breaking and terrifying all the infantry, etc. here from Void. So units are going to be coming back. It's a bit of a shame because the Cold War Knights can do lots of work. 66 speed, I believe. Yeah, 66 speed. They'll smash up Glade Riders, no problem. Coming back at the Chameleon Stalkers. And where's that summon? So summon in the middle here. The Ferromanticore could come after Ariel if we're not careful. Silver Knights will be fighting up here. Silver Knights are fighting the Cold War Riders. I think you needed to push this force off. It's so close to the white line. I think that's a bit of a mistake there. I think that's a bit of a mistake. Balance Power is going to come back to even with the summon. Summon's going to be coming after Ariel. She needs some support. In the middle though, it looks like the Starfire Shafts are going to get caught by the Source Warriors with shields. There's nothing to stop the Chameleon Stalkers as well, pressuring the second unit of Glade Guard. It looks like the Glade Riders have been caught by... Yeah, they've been caught and they're getting hit very hard here. Drycher's going to be trying her best. Rampaging Cold War Knights will fight with their armor piercing up against Drycher, but that is going to allow the Chameleon Stalkers and the Skin Cohorts to move in. Very close to the white line. Looks like they're going to be running in the opposite direction. No control on that. But looks like we are going to be breaking Chameleon Stalkers in the back. Source Warriors moving in with some Skin Cohort Javelins as well. There's like a Soul Stealer, brilliant Soul Stealer here in the pocket as well. That's going to be damaging Gorok, damaging Cohorts, and also going to damage the Ferromanticore. Still fighting is going to be Ariel. Does Gorok have Immune Psychology? Yes, he does. So that Terror is not going to aid here too much. The Firebark Elders. Oh, Bok coming in here for the charge with the Cold Run Riders. Smashing here into the Firebark Elders. Firebark Elders really need some support here. Maybe some healing. Nice air effect damage here would absolutely ruin this force. It looks like there was a nice smash here in the background up against these Saurus shields. We could do with getting a Lost Silver Knights in here charging, but it's like they've been caught by all units of infantry. Can we get for Soul Stealer is the question. I think it's a minute between Soul Stealers. I can't remember. Soul Stealer takes 54 seconds. Yes, this is about a minute. It's about a minute. A Soul Stealer here on top of the Firebark Elders. They'll hold for ages, but if you can get a Soul Stealer here, that could really turn the game and win it here for the Wood Elves. Balance of power is going to favour the Wood Elves. What do we have left here? Is the question. Lots is going to break. You need to chase this, but it looks like here we're going to lose lots of the range because it is going to come back. I mean, it will get instantly broken here and terrified from the Lost Silver Knights. But you need something to aid. I don't know if we're going to have enough of mana here for Ariel. Could we get her in the trees? Maybe. Try and see if we can use some of the Ancients. Looks like Apotheosis has been used to heal the Lost Silver Knights. That'll heal them to full, I'm pretty sure. And they are going to break the Chameleon Stalkers very quickly. Could even shatter them here if you're not careful. Negative 23, negative 24. Yeah, they won't be coming back, I don't think. Charger in the front line up against the Skink Cohort Javelins. So the Firebark Elders are going to be fighting towards the end here. They've held for an absolute dream length of time here up against all this force with the Saurus Warriors, armor-piercing Cold One Knights. And they've done some pretty good damage overall. Like, they don't have great stats, but 57 melee defense. They've just held for an eternity. Silver Knights have taken a bit of a punching though, unfortunately. Saurus Warriors will do some good work over time. Drysh's very healthy. Ariel is very healthy. I think we've seen a Berry Wine already. I think we saw a Berry Wine here on the Lost Silver Knights. I think you get 2, or is it just the 1 now? I think it should be 2. You get 2 Berry Wines, I think. No, it's just the 1. So that 1 has been used. That max healing is now gone. But we need this range back in. We need the Glade Guard to come shoot. Try and see if we can get rid of the lightly armoured Chameleon Stalkers. But we have blobbed up here. We're going to be blobbing up here on the Glade Rider Spears and the Dryads. So we are going to have to move in with Ariel. Balance power now starting to come back to even here from Void. This blob is so dangerous. Acorn of the Oak of Ages. I know there's a certain amount of times you can use it. Twice. I think that's been used twice. I don't know if we've got anything left. I don't think we've got anything left here. So it looks like the shots were going into Gorok. We don't want to get too close, but in the back is the Chameleon Stalkers. We are going to break with the Wood Elves, and a lot of it's breaking here from Balance of Power. It looks like the Eternal Guard are going to move in here to support the Lost Silver Knights as they do terrify the Cold One Knights. We need something to aid and remove this, the tanky, healthy Saurus Warriors. Oh, Firebark Elders are back in now. This could be good. They have Fear, not Terror, right? Yeah, Fear. So, it could be helpful. But a charge here in the front line. They don't want to get caught, though. If we could remove Gorok, that would be very nice. Negative 16 leadership faction-wide could be very good. Looks like that is going to be the target here. Charge on him could be decent. Good hits coming on Gorok. Stand your ground goes down, giving him 84 melee defense, but 730 health left for him. Firebark Elders are going to pin in. Looks like we also have Ariel to aid with that magic damage. He does have some good physical resistance as well. Stand your ground, cold-blooded, give him that added leadership. 735 health. If we blob here, I think the Wood Elves will lose. It is going to favour the Wood Elves here on Balance of Power, but I think that's just going to be how healthy Drycha is, rather than actually the game state. But it looks like Glade Guard. We have 450 health, 14 models left with 18 leadership. That's wavering heavily here. Gorok here, 435 health. If we can break and kill him, it's possible. It is possible. When that cold-blooded runs off, he should break here. Yeah, negative 23 leadership. He has broken. He has broken. That's really good. Now try and see if we can cycle charge here using the Lost Silver Knights. Drysh is in. Drysh is going to be fighting. We are going to be shooting here from the outside from the Glade. They're negative 7 leadership. I'm not too sure why. They haven't been pressured by anything, but they are going to break just on Balance of Power. I think just from being exhausted. Oh, they're only very tired. Maybe they dropped there on Vigor. I'm not too sure. But Gorok has broken 340 health left. You need to chase him. The Silver Knights need to go. They need to clean up Creek here up against Gorok. Lots of terror though. We have 2 terror options from Ariel and the Lost Silverin. How many Lost Silverin have you got left though? So 5 Lost Silverin left with 220 health. They are unbreakable, so they will stand to the very end. So we are going to be breaking lots of the lizard men. That's really good. But lots of it is going to come back very quickly. I think a lot of it has been terrified rather than actually broken. Some of it's broken, some of it's terrified. Let's have a look. Gorok here, -12 leadership. This is going to be super close here. This is going to be super close. Oh, no, they have broken it. I thought these were unbreakable. Oh, does that I'm wrong. But they are going to come back. 215. They're still going to be fighting very strong here. Bands of Power should keep them fighting. A nice charge here up against the Saurus Warriors. I think Gorok, -4. What's he here? Yeah, he might come back. He might. Could we catch the Skink Priest of Beasts? That would kill the game. That would kill the game. If we can do that with the Lost Silver and Knights, that would kill it. Fighting here, Ariel. Should have lots of healing here. I don't know if we can get a Soul Stealer in, maybe. But that could be very good. Drycha is going to be fighting. 73 melee attack from her. Still fighting in the Farbark Elders. 6 models, 1.4k health. They're going to be super good at just helping, like, dissipate that damage. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's going to be put out from Void, I think. I think that was a Soul Stealer. I think as soon as you saw the Soul Stealer come in, I think that was GG's. What a sick game, man! What a sick game between these two. Absolute top draw here from Predator. This is normally pretty Lizardman favoured, and even more so with the DLC. But yeah, 1.2k here for Gorok. 121 here for the Skink Priest of Beasts. With 160, 230, 420 from the Skink Cohorts. 800, 750, 330, and 705 from the Stalkers. 760, 1.2, 870, 730 here from the tanky Saurus Warrior Shields, with 308, 526 for the Javos, and 450 for the last unit. 480, 560, and 380 for the Cold One Riders. Not quite performing how I would have thought they would have, but very interesting indeed. This was hugely risky. Lost Silver and Knights, but very risky. If you had the ROR Temple Guard, just discount them. They just get wrecked. Anti-large magic damage, nah, they're done. They're finished. 730 here from Drycha. 124 kills. 2,260 there from Ariel. Very nice indeed. Even though she got nerfed through the floor from the last couple of patches, she's still very strong here. 220, 125, 520, and 400 from the Dryads. 217 and 426 here from the Eternal Guard. Yeah, that was right, yep. 270 and 441 from the Glade Guard. It's the Glade Guard and the Glade Riders. I don't know why I get them wrong sometimes, especially when I'm tired. But 360 from the Spears, 440 as well, with 3,587 damage value here from the Lost Silver and Knights. God damn, that's some good damage value. And 825 from the Farbark Elders. I think these two combined really saved the game. They really did. The Farbark Elders just being tanky there in the middle. God damn, that was a game. That was a game. Very good indeed. There was no magic damage. Yeah, it was super risky, but it definitely paid off. It definitely paid off. Right, give me just 1 second. Right, so we have fantastic. Okay, so I believe we've run out of players, if I'm correct. I think Mr. Predator, yes, Mr. Randon was the last person. So let's change the scoreboard here. So scores on the door, finishing on 3. So today's winner will be Caradoc. I'm pretty sure. I don't think anybody can catch him up otherwise. Oh, I left his iPhone there. I do apologise. That was silly from me. But there we go, Mr. Predator. So Predator will go ahead here with 1. And he'll finish as today's victor, I think, because I think we've run out. I think so, yeah. I think we're finished here today, mate. But thank you for playing. It was really awesome to see that. That last battle was insane. That last battle was insane. Logic, will that one, or the one that got promoted? I'm going to say something brave. Ooh, that is brave, Benzo. I think she's still very good. Yeah, I agree, Benzo. I agree with that first one there. Far back elders, I don't hate it. What if the players tied for points with other players, Logic? So, if players tie with other players in the league, whoever won their particular matchups, let's say you and I tied points, CJ, and let's say I won our games 2-1, I would win. I would go above you in the categories, because I've specifically won our game, and that's the only way to sort of determine who wins on that point. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching today. I hope you really enjoyed today's tournament. I would like to do some more of these. I've definitely taken some ideas on board from all of you about what to do going forward in regards to leagues, tournaments. It seems you guys, the three things that you're interested in are leagues, tournaments, and organised tournaments. And videos. They seem to be the things that you're enjoying. So I'll probably you'll see the YouTube evolving over time. So thank you much for all the support. I have actually some really cool things to come forward in the very near future. But take care of yourselves during this time. Please smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. That would really help today. And also think about subscribing, because if I can get towards those 1,000 subscribers, I've hit my halfway mark now, over 500. If I do get to the 1,000, it would be great. How does that next season ranking look like? It looks strong, mate. It looks strong. We've got some new players coming in, and they'll start from the bottom and they'll move up. But yes, if I can reach 1,000, I can become a little bit more supportive here on myself, and start earning some money from YouTube, and partner with CA, give you guys more early access, more content, all of these sorts of things, and you can have more videos, more tournaments, more everything. So yes. Anyway, take care. I'll see you all very, very soon.